The following broadcast of BigElkTV.com is presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people come first.
Practicing on Turkey Day is a common mantra across the state of Oklahoma amongst football teams that signifies a successful season. If you're practicing on Turkey Day in Class 4A, you're one of the Final Four standing. That's the carrot out in front of these two teams tonight. Practicing on Turkey Day and a trip to the 4A semifinals. The Elk City Elks have been able to meet the challenge in all but one of their games this season. Tonight, that challenge is a senior-laden Hilldale squad with a running back that's rushed for nearly 5,000 yards in his career. The Hornets are enjoying one of their best seasons and are trying to earn their first trip to the state semifinals in program history. With a win tonight, the Brown and White will be back in the semifinals for a second straight year. Will it be the Elks who make the semifinals 2 straight seasons, or can Hilldale punch their semifinal ticket for their very first time? Let's find out. It's the Elk City Elks and the Hilldale Hornets live from Big Elk Stadium in Elk City, Oklahoma. It's time for Big Elk football.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Elk City football. Tonight, it's the quarterfinals of the Class 4A playoffs. The 10-1 Elk City Elks hosting the 9-2 Hilldale Hornets. I'm Aaron Kauk. Be with you all evening long. In the booth beside me is Jared Atha. Jared, this is what all these guys started back in August playing for.
That's right. It's I told you earlier, it's you were mentioning you're going out there testing equipment, and you're like, well, the grass isn't green anymore. And I said, that's a good thing. We're playing on some brown golden grass, and that means you're playing in the playoffs, late in the playoffs, too. It's a lot of fun.
Our Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter is Daniel Garbarino. Daniel, I know you've had your eye on the Hilldale squad throughout the week. What have you seen from the Hornets?
You know, they're a really good football team. You have to be good to be second in a district in the state of Oklahoma. So they've taken care of the business that's been in front of them. We have to remember that. We have to remember that they have taken care of what's been put in front of them, and now we're next in front of them. So we have to take care of our business in the same way that they've taken care of their business.
They made a long trek across the state of Oklahoma from Muskogee out here to Western Oklahoma. But if there's anybody that knows anything about that, it ought to be the guys in brown and white who did the same thing a year ago on this night.
Yeah, very nice not to have to drive 218 miles to a playoff game, although we played well at Grove. And we're Grove's last loss. So, and Cushing too, if you really want to get into it. But yeah, those guys, they drove over here in a charter bus, and they got out, and they probably said, "Where are we?" I bet most of them haven't been past Oklahoma City in their lifetime. So it's good to play here. It's good to be home. We had a regular week of practice, which is good for everything that we have going. No travel. And those guys, you know, they don't know anything about us. All they know is that they've played some teams like us. So I think we're ready.
I like just to kind of finish what Daniel was saying, I like how, you know, yes, we played on the road twice last year and got a couple of wins. And I said this earlier this week is, yes, they've come here. They're traveling too. And I like that we did it last year because we could say, or the coaches could tell these players, hey, listen, we did it last year. We went up the Grove and got the W. That's what they're looking to do, and we're not going to let that happen tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
Key to the game, Daniel, to me would have to be defensively for the Elks. Eric Virgil, senior running back for Hilldale, 2,000 yards this year, 15 shy of 5,000 for his career, 72 career touchdowns. Obviously, the focal point of that Hilldale offense.
Yeah, 4,985 yards career rushing. That's impressive. Doesn't matter what division, Pee Wee, Pop Warner. It doesn't matter where you play. That is tough to do because people are keyed in on you. I agree. I think we have to contain him. We're not going to stop him. You don't stop a back like that's that shifty and has the ability that he does. We have to, on the defensive line, we have to get parallel because he does a lot of cutback. He's got great vision for a running back, and he's kind of shifty. He spins a lot. So we have to get parallel so that we can stop that cutback instead of being too aggressive and going upfield. He's going to get his, right? He's going to get some yards. He's going to have some runs. It's how we respond when he does that counts. I mean, he's a good running back. But we've got 3 or 4 good running backs on our side too.
Yeah, and the Elks have had a recent history of kind of shutting down or limiting really good running backs on this field. Cornelius Landers from Pampa last year. Obviously, Malik Murphy from Chickasha this year. About 25 minutes away from the kickoff between the Elk City Elks and the Hilldale Hornets. As we continue through the pregame, we'll hear from head coach Zach Maynard, also senior offensive lineman Logan Trevino. Big Elks in Hilldale, Class 4A quarterfinal action coming at you here shortly. It's the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
A United States financial management consulting group has just named the Bank of Western Oklahoma as one of its top 10 banking institutions in Oklahoma. This designation was awarded because of their superior customer service, organizational skills, and their compliance with state and federal banking regulations. Just another reason you should trust and do business with the Bank of Western Oklahoma, with locations in Woodward, Visay, Gary, Cordell, Weatherford, and Elk City. The Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people really do come first. Member FDIC.
This is 100% fresh beef with 2 slices of melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. This is a burger that strongly suggests you take a seat. It marks its territory, leaving behind a graveyard of napkins, and won't be contained by a humble sesame seed bun. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese.
McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City, proudly owned and operated by the Phillips family.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their gifts.
Owners George and Jim Bob Browning invite you to visit the locally owned Ace Home Centers nearest you or shop online at elksupply.com. Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Whether your electric needs are for a small home, remodel, or even a multi-million-dollar facility, there's no job Culver Electric can't handle. Since 2004, Brandon and Jill Culver have strived to bring top-notch service to all of central and western Oklahoma. Residential, commercial, and industrial jobs performed by knowledgeable, friendly staff. Culver is a business built on Christian values, hard work, and outstanding quality. Call 580-243-5846 for your electric needs. Culver Electric, keeping the lights on.
Western Technology Center has been educating high school juniors, seniors, and adults for over 40 years. WTC continues to train Oklahomans for the global workplace. With several programs available, many individuals have been able to find one that best serves their wants and needs, like business development, fire service training, industrial training, dental hygiene, and many other fields of study. With 5 campuses to choose from in Burns Flat, Sayre, Hobart, Weatherford, and Elk City, WTC is closer than you think. Contact the campus nearest you today or visit westtech.edu.
And good evening and welcome to week number 12 as the Big Elks win in their first round of the playoffs last week. There were 16 teams remaining in Class 4A. This week there are 8. The Elk City Elks come off with a big victory last week. Coach, it wasn't the prettiest thing in the world, but the final was exactly what you wanted, and that was out on top, and you advanced to this week. Tell us a little bit about last week's game and what you're going to bring for tonight's game from that.
Yeah, hopefully, anytime you get a victory this time of year, it's good. Hopefully, we got some of the rust knocked off from, trying to get back from injuries or this and that, and hopefully just get better from where we were and be better this week.
Speaking of this week, Coach, you got to take care of business. The nice thing is you're going to get to take care of business right here at home. Hilldale, the Hornets are going to have to travel 228 miles one way. I know that it's got to be a big plus for you and your team to be able to host this game right here at Big Elk Stadium.
Yeah, that's why the district play is so important, to set yourself up to have a home game in this type of place and environment and this time of year. So, we're excited about that. Hilldale's a great opponent. It'll be a great game.
Coach, I know that 3 aspects to every game, the offense, the defense, the special teams, struggled a little bit on that. What have you worked on this week to make that better?
Yeah, we're working on some kicking stuff, obviously, and this and that. We're still trying to get over, find the right guy to kick for us with Garza being out. So, but we'll figure it out, and hopefully we'll have it ready to go.
Coach, how do you stack up against Hilldale? We watched a little film on them, but in your opinion, after you've watched film, what do you think?
Oh, they're like everybody else we've played this year. They're big up front. They're physical. They got a good running back. We'll have to play well, and we're going to depend on our offensive line and defensive lines to win their battles up front. And if they win their battles, I think we'll be in good shape. We got to win up front.
Got to win up front. I agree with that, Coach. And, the other thing that a lot of people lose track of, and that's staying at home, playing your spot. It's easy to get sucked in and over pursue, and then all of a sudden they run the reverse on you. Is that something that you work with your kids on all the time, Coach, or is that something they know by this time of the season?
Oh, it's both. It's something that, we've got counter boot reverse players everywhere on defense, and, everybody's got to do their job and know where they're supposed to be. And, when a team has a really good running back, we want to bottle him up and keep him from being able to bounce. So, everybody will have to be sound. Everybody will have to fit right. But I think we will. We've done it all year pretty much for the most part. So, we'll have to do a good job on their tailback and keep him inside, keep him bottled up.
First time I watched this team play this year, Coach, the one thing that I found that was really outstanding to me was the ability to overcome adversity. I'd seen so many years in the past where something bad would happen. It was just like, okay, all the air out of the sails, done. This team seems like they thrive on that. Coach, it kind of makes some of us nervous. How about it in your perspective?
Oh, it'd be great to start fast and get after it, but ultimately, being able to overcome adversity and still get after it, I think that's really given us a lot of confidence that, hey, no matter what happens, we're not out of the ball game. Just keep plugging. It's all going to work out in the end.
Fantastic. Have you dreamed up any good plays for this week, Coach?
Well, we've got a couple.
You always do. It doesn't cease to amaze me. Coach, congratulations again. Week number 12. I know the job's not done. You've still got 2 more weeks that you want to go at. Beginning tonight, good luck to you and the Big Elks.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Head coach Zach Maynard right here of the Elk City Elks on the Big Elk TV.com's pregame show, and also on Cool 94, brought to you by the Bank of Western Oklahoma. We'll be right back. We'll have the big man, Logan Trevino, along with Jared Atha right after this.
Hey, Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh, Coach, it happened again. I'm going to get to the bottom of this.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino in Elk City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Quentin Nichols is from Elk City, a graduate of Elk City. You got Chris Coy. He is Elk City born and bred. Ray Haven is from Cheyenne, so he is a Western Oklahoma guy, of course. Kirby McBroom, Elk City guy. Of course, my dad, David Dyson, Elk City. Ed Stewart, who is our sales manager, is from Clinton.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Great Plains Analytical Services salutes all of the young men and women in the Elk City school system, and they urge each of them to apply the philosophy of all gas, no brakes to their academic studies, their fine arts performances, and their athletic contests, and hopes they carry this right on into their adult lives. GAS also sincerely thanks Elk City school board members for their service and the teachers, coaches, and administrators for their leadership. Let's all work together to make Elk City and America great again.
A home really is their safe place. We love working with our clients and finding them that security space. And that's what's so fulfilling. When I see birthday parties at a house that we had shot for with this client, and we're watching all of these memories kind of unfold and build in these homes, that's what's so rewarding.
Moxie Realty and Auction Company. MoxieRealty.com.
Welcome back to BigElkTV.com. Also, Cool 94, all presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Getting ready for round number 2 of the 4A playoffs. Your Big Elks taking on the Hilldale Hornets, who thankfully this time have to make the long trip this way, unlike last year where Elk City had to go all the way to Grove this time of year. With me right now is senior offensive lineman, defensive lineman Logan Trevino. How's that feel, being able to play at home second round of the playoffs?
It feels amazing. I wasn't a big fan of last year, getting on the bus at noon and then driving until 5 and then getting there. I mean, it feels a lot better to play at home.
Probably felt a lot better coming home last year, though.
It did feel a lot better coming home after the big wins against Cushing and Grove.
Well, I bet last week felt pretty good, getting that opening round win against Newcastle. First time playing a playoff game in Elk City for nearly over 20 years. How'd that feel last week?
It felt pretty good. We were a little rusty in some spots, but, we've really took practice real good this week, and trying to get all those spots attention to detail.
The game itself, it didn't feel like you guys had it, or it felt like you guys had it in control. Never felt like it was getting out of control for you guys. But there were still some things that we saw on the Elk City side that you guys could work on. Is that something that you thought, okay, you know what, if we play a good game, we beat the doors off these guys? So is that something that you took a positive from last week's game?
When we do play lights out like we did against Chickasha is a really good example. We didn't turn the ball over. And we come out and beat them, I don't remember what it was, 50-something to 14. But when we play clean football, we can smoke some people down. It feels good when we do that, though.
This Friday is going to be cold, probably colder than last Friday. Last Friday was pretty cold. What do you prefer, hot and sweaty weather or cold, chilly weather, or somewhere in between?
I kind of prefer it to be right in the middle. I don't like it being too hot because then I'm sweating all the time. The cold, it's not too bad, but it kind of hurts your arms whenever you hit somebody. But I kind of prefer right there in the 50s to play football.
Do you notice it? I mean, the cold weather, you talk about getting hit or hitting somebody and you feel that, or does adrenaline take over? Does it affect how you play?
No, not really. Adrenaline kind of takes over, and once you get in the zone, then you don't really ever notice.
Let's talk about Hilldale coming to town. Again, a team, when you get to this point in the playoffs, you're playing teams that are not in your district, teams you're not familiar with, maybe a team with different styles that you haven't seen before. So what have you seen about the Hornets on film? Let's start with their offense. How do they look?
They have a really good back. He's got over 2,000 yards, 20-something touchdowns. They're going to try to pound the rock with him, kind of like we did last year with Dalen. But as long as we shut them down on the run game, they can't really beat us anywhere else because our secondary is pretty good at defending the pass.
To me, it feels like that kind of plays into what you guys like to do is shut down the run game first, and you've had a lot of success doing that this year. The running back from Chickasha comes to mind. You mentioned them. Clinton has a good running game that you kind of haltered down. So does that give you a lot of confidence coming up against Hilldale?
It gives us a lot of confidence. When the defense is clicking, we're usually clicking. And when we click together, we're a pretty scary team to play against.
What about defensively? What does Hilldale show defensively? How are the Big Elks going to exploit that?
So they run pretty much the same defense that we run. They run the 3-4, then have the walk down backers, and they like to slant a lot. And they're going to pull a lot of stunts out, blend some backers, and try to stop Levy. And whenever they try to stop Levy, we're going to usually hit Cooper Garbarino or Cooper Patton on a pass. It's just kind of how it's going to play out. Business
as usual. Same thing we've seen all season long. Final question for me, Logan. This is it. Final game at Big Elk Stadium. What are you thinking?
I'd hope to get a big win. This is something, 2 straight years, we could potentially go to the semifinals, I'm looking to play in December on the 4th up there, and I think it'd be Shawnee or something like that.
UCO?
UCO, yeah. It's sad, but at the same time, I'm ready to get this and go to the next week.
I tell you this, not everybody who plays their last game on their home field usually wins. So that'd be pretty good to get a win and call it a career, at least in the Big Elk Stadium.
It would be monumental for me.
Logan, good luck to you. Stay healthy. Go get them.
Thank you.
All right, coming up, we got the coin flip, the national anthem, and the kickoff. Another big game here at Big Elk Stadium. You're watching Big Elk TV on and listening to it on Cool 94, all presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Keep it right here.
Big Elk Auto Mall in Elk City is your one-stop automotive shop. In one location, you'll find professional automotive services like gas and diesel mechanics, expert exhaust installation, and certified auto body technicians who do it all from detailing to frame-off restorations. Owned by local guys with local ties, and they're fully insured. They're located in the old Summer J building across from the Elk City Convention Center. And at Big Elk Auto Mall, a percentage of every sale goes directly to the Elk City High School Athletics Program. If you need it, they do it. All insurances are accepted. Go Big Elks. Say habla Espanol.
Bobby Joe Cudd started with one piece of equipment and one small crew in Woodward, Oklahoma back in 1977. Now, that company works across the country and around the world. It's Cudd Energy Services. When the bottom fell out of the oil field in the early 1980s, Cudd stuck it out and kept going. Ever since, when newcomers closed the doors, Cudd kept working. Cudd is still here, doing more than ever to harness the power of our natural resources. Cudd Energy Services, here to stay.
Buying and selling a home is a huge deal. Buyers are excited to get into a house they really want. Sellers are happy they can move on to the next phase in their life. But behind the scenes, someone's got to handle all that paperwork. And if things don't go right, the deal falls through. That's why buyers, sellers, and realtors all like working with Billy and Jennifer Smith. They're professional, they're thorough, and they're good. Smith Title and Closing, Broadway and Randall in Elk City. Outstanding opening, exceptional closing.
Paul Jones Drug in Elk City invites you to their modern and convenient facility at 809 North Main Street. They've made it easier than ever to serve their customers, complete with a drive-through window, expanded compounding lab, and tons of parking. And Paul Jones Drug offers free delivery in the Elk City area. Paul Jones Drug is locally owned and operated by Rodney Skinner. He and his staff are always friendly and knowledgeable. Come check out Paul Jones Drug, 809 North Main Street in Elk City. Paul Jones Drug, care you can trust.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. How will you know which 2 to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic. Welcome back. It's the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football tonight. The Class 4A quarterfinals. The Elk City Elks inside Big Elk Stadium, 10-1, the District 1 champion against the 9-2 District 4 runner-up, the Hilldale Hornets. Elk City making their 32nd playoff appearance in school history. The Elks are 22-30 in those playoff games. They've made the state title game 4 different times, 1-3 record in those 4 appearances. They were semifinalists last year, and they're coming off a round 1 win, 28-21 over the Newcastle Racers. Elk City also trying to make back-to-back appearances in the semifinals for the first time since the 97 and 98 seasons. On the other side for Hilldale, as I mentioned, 9-2, District 4 runner-up. They've made the playoffs 22 times. They are 16-21 in their history. Hilldale has never advanced to the semifinals in program history, so they would be making history on this field tonight if the Hornets were able to come out to Western Oklahoma and get the win. Hilldale defeated Tulsa McLean 32-0 in the first round, and this is the first meeting between these two schools in their football history. Another little side note. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not. I may save it till the end. That's a little stat I gave before the game, before we went on the air. I think I'll save that one and not get accused of the jinx, if it were. Daniel, what's your...
Please do. Please save it.
And what's kind of your final key here as we get ready for the national anthem and the coin toss?
Yeah, I think the key to us is, can we put together quarters of football? Well, I don't think we've done that this year. I think we've had some great starts, some bad starts, some great finishes, some not so great finishes. But I feel like if we put together 4 quarters of football, take care of the ball, play like we can play, control the game, control the line of scrimmage, then we have a really, really good shot.
Jared, we talked about Hilldale's offense in the opener, but the Big Elk offense has been kind of a perfect elixir for what Hilldale likes to do with the running back Virgil, and that is ball control, running the ball down the field.
Yeah, it's the same formula. Kind of what Daniel said, and I agree with it. It's the same formula that we've had a lot of success with all season long, and a lot of that is ball control. Your best defense is your offense, able to sustain long, time-consuming drives that end with scores. And we've seen that more often than not this year from the Big Elks. And that's going to be key because you want to keep it out of his hands, Virgil, that is, for the Hornets, because he is dynamic. He's a hold-your-breath running back. That's how I describe guys like him. And, we saw someone like him a couple of times last year he's one of those guys. So, again, best defense could be the Big Elk offense with the long, sustained, time-consuming drives. But the key is you got to end it with points.
Captains have hit the field. I think they'll probably do the national anthem before that. But for the brown and white tonight, captains will be a bunch of seniors out there. You got Sammy Leal, Levy Owens, Austin Jones, and Cooper Patton. We'll get the captains on the other side as the national anthem coming from the high school senior choir.
Serene Green, Cooper Twyman, Josh McDowell, Dylan Cooksey, Catherine Wilcox, 80 Fry, Valentina Fierro, Sky Beck, and Kate Ivester.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Phenomenal rendition of the national anthem there by Mr. Ediger's group there. Both teams have their captains. I mentioned the Big Elk captains. On the other side for Hilldale, you've got number 53 is senior Grayson Gaddy. Big Evan Keefe, number 66. He's a senior committed to go play football at Air Force. Riker Milton, number 3, is a senior. Number 18 is Alonzo Perez, also a senior. And the quarterback, number 14, Caden Davis, is a senior. We'll send it down to our Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, Daniel Garbarino.
Should be mic'd, but
yeah, I think they could be mic'd up.
Oh, my bad.
Maybe not.
Yep, but all right. Hilldale, you are the visitor. You get to call the coin toss. Heads and tails. What is your call? Heads. That lands heads. Want to kick, and which end do you want to defend?
Kick from that side that way.
Put your backs over there. White, put your back to this.
Hilldale wins the toss, elects to receive.
All right, so the Hornets want the ball first. The Elks will be kicking north to south, which is left to right on your radio dial. That means we'll have the Sonic defensive starting lineup for the Elk City Elks, a defense that's been stingy to the tune of about 14 points a game. Across the front line in the 3-4 defense, you'll have a senior, number 56. One of the ends is Trace Decker. A nose tackle, number 55, Gage Eastman. And then a junior, number 15, Blake Red at the other defensive end. The linebackers on the outsides, it'll be number 8, senior Tyler Morier, the Ocho. Number 20, Nick Medina is scheduled to start. Then in the middle, Sammy Leal, the senior, number 27, Braxton Robertson, a junior, number 28. In the back end, it's been Caden Holder, a senior, number 1, and senior, number 11, Matthew Thompson at the corners. The safeties, the Coopers. Number 7, Cooper Patton, a senior, number 22, Garbarino is a junior. As the smoke starts to fly in the north end zone, the brown smoke, as the Elk City Elks emerge from the Elk City helmet. Braxton Robertson, Tyler Moyer with the American flags, Big Levy Owens with the brown flag with the white interlocking EC, as the Elks spill onto the field from the north end zone toward the south. The Hornets of Hilldale awaiting their arrival from the south end zone as they'll run diagonally from the southeast toward the northwest. And here comes Hilldale. with a Hornet on one flag, a H on the other. Elk City in their home, brown over brown with the double white stripes down either side of the pant. Numbers in white, front and back. Elk City across the chest, the white helmet with the interlocking brown EC on both sides, and also that vertical brown stripe from front to back. Hilldale will have black pants, white unis, black numbers front and back outlined in red, a couple of red stripes down either side of the pants. Black helmets with the Hornet on one side and an H on the other, I believe, from watching some film. Before we hit the kickoff, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Big Elk Football.
You're listening to Big Elk Sports on 94.3 KXOO Elk City. Cool 94.
Just about ready to go here from Big Elk Stadium. It's the Class 4A quarterfinal. The 10-1 Elk City Elks, the 9-2 Hilldale Hornets. Tonight's officials, the referee will be Troy Hubler. Mike Gamble is the umpire. J.J. Martin, the head linesman. Keith McGinty, the line judge. Tim Ott will be the back judge. The Elks kicking off from left to right, north to south. Back to receive the kick, the deep man, is Brady Scott, number 12. And then on the far side hash is Hayden Pickering, 21 at about the 15. Lamarian Burton is on the near side hash right around the 20-yard line. Kai Keys will do the honors. If you watched last week's game, it was a bit of a struggle on the kickoff team. The Elks have tried a couple of different guys since Tucker Garza went out with that knee injury. So Keys will set it up on the right hash and awaits the whistle. There it is Keys high, short kick right in the middle of the field, taken at the 25, and the Elks kind of swarm under. I wasn't sure. I think it was at 18, Perez on the return.
Yeah,
18. So Perez crosses the 35 to about the 37-yard line. That's where Hilldale will set up shop. First and 10 at their own 37, just underway, Elk City and Hilldale.
And I'll tell you what, Aaron, looking at the crowd, they're, maybe late arrivers because they want to time this out to get here so they don't have to sit here in the cold. But we got a good crowd tonight.
Kind of an interesting formation with two slots on the left. Now in motion comes Virgil. Snap back, hand off to Virgil. He breaks the tackle to the outside, makes a move with the 35. Flag flies as Virgil crosses the 40 to the 42. A 5-yard gain, but I think it's going to be all for naught as a holding called in the backfield. That's going to be a big penalty. That flag was thrown about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Holding on the offense, number 33, 10 yards from the spot of the foul. Replay, first down.
Yeah, that was obvious too. Saw it happen right in front of us, Aaron, and even without it, that was good penetration from the Elks.
So the penalty marks Hilldale back to their own 24. That'll bring up a first down and 23 for the Hornets. The quarterback, Caden David, in the shotgun. Virgil is set up in the slot. Now he comes in motion to the right hip, stops, counter play, looking for some room up the middle. He's got it to the 30. Now he's going to be hemmed up there at about the 35-yard line. Eastman, and the ball pops out. The Elk City Elks are on it. The ball popped out as Eastman held him up, and the opening possession results in a turnover. A fumble by Eric Virgil, as now we see the officials discuss. I never heard a whistle blow.
No, there was a whistle.
Aaron, they held him up, and it popped out. That is Elk City football.
Eastman had him held up. Virgil was trying to fight for extra yardage, and the Elk City Elks cause a fumble on the first possession, taking over first and 10 at their own, or at the Hilldale 39-yard line.
Yeah, Elk City holding them up, and one guy, who was it holding them up?
Eastman, 55.
Eastman holding them up. Was he the one who stripped it?
No, there are a bunch of dudes
Couldn't
there.
tell. There's a bunch of dudes, and that's exactly what you want from your teammates.
First and 10 Elks at the Hilldale 39. In motion comes Garbarino. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Owens. Owens tries to push the pile forward. Hilldale did a nice job there in the interior of gumming that thing up as 15-gauge Rowland gets up off the pile. A gain of 2 for Levy down to the Hilldale 37.
We're going to get a steady dose of Levy, I got a feeling, tonight.
So
at least early.
If you look at their defense, they're doing what they did against Ada. They have almost 9, if not 10, within 8 yards of the ball.
Second down and 8, Elks. They'll snap it. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Owens. Owens breaks a tackle in the backfield, surges forward for a couple of yards to the 35-yard line. Mason Pickering shot the gap, couldn't wrap him up, but a couple of runs for 4 yards brings up a 3rd down and 6 for the Elks at the Hilldale 35-yard line.
All right, the Hilldale guys are calling out our counter play to the wide side of the field.
Bowie checks into the lineup for the Elks. He'll split out left alongside Caden Holder. Flex bone formation, 3rd and 6 for the Elks at the Hilldale 35, and Hilldale jumps offside. A free 5 yards for the Elks. It will not be a first down, but it'll be 3rd down and about a half yard. Oh.
Underneath, man. 5 yards. Still 3rd down.
Nose of the football touching the Hilldale 30-yard line. The Elks have to get to about the 29.5 for a first down. Bowie checks out, replaced by Poole. So Poole and Holder split to the wide side of the field on the left of the formation. 3rd down and half a yard. Jones under center, sends Garbarino in motion, turns, hands off to Owens. Owens got a first down at the 25, ducks his head. And a nice tackle by Milton in the secondary, but Owens needed a half yard, got about 6. And it's the first Moxie Realty first down of the night for the Elk City Elks down at the 24-yard line of Hilldale.
Of note, their senior defensive end is not suited up tonight, so 15 has taken his place.
Yeah, Gage rolling in there for Logan Harper. Harper was a really good player on field. 1st and 10 Elks at the Hilldale 24. Handoff to Owens. Levy's got a hold to 20, to the 15. Carrying tacklers toward the 10-yard line. Still going, and he's tackled at the 6. That's a gain of 18 and a Moxie Realty first down for the Elks inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone.
I mean, is that just a run right there? That's a typical Levy Owens run.
The power, it never ceases to amaze me.
1st and goal, Elk City at the Hilldale 5, 9.5 to play in the first quarter. No score in this 4A quarterfinal.
Nose of the ball.
Poole and Holder split left. Jones under center. Austin sends Garbarino in motion. Turns, hands to Owen. Owens is going to plow his way forward. Is he in? He is. It's a touchdown for the Big Elks. 5-yard plunge by Levy Owens. And Elk City's on top first, 6-0 with 9:16 to play on the Ace Home Center scoreboard.
I mean, he had to have that one, right? After that last run he had, you had to reward the young man with the 6.
Going for 2.
Yeah, the Elks are going to go for 2. The struggle on the extra point team could be an advantage, though, if you're able to convert these short yardage situations. Eastman checks into the lineup, tight end right. Holder splits out to the right in between the hash and the numbers. In motion is Garbarino. Levy's got it. Levy goes toward the goal line. Is he in? He is. And it's a 2-point conversion for Levy Owens. The Elk City Elks lead 8-0 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. 9:16 to play in the first quarter. They convert the Eric Virgil fumble into 8 here in the early going.
I think Coach found something he liked, and I saw that in film too. It seemed like when they played Poto had a lot more success running to Poto's right side. So the right side of our offensive line up that side. Their left side is pretty stacked. But, man, that was some want-to right there.
Jared, you called it. Feed Levy early and often, and that's exactly what happened that drive.
Don't stop. Just keep giving it to him. He has been fantastic all season long. Why go any different? And what's fun is we did that with Levy. Now wait until they start to really suck it in the middle, and we can start hitting those edges.
All 39 yards on that drive, courtesy of Big Levy Owens. 8-0 Elk City with 9:16 to play in the first. Keys on to kickoff. Same directional kick. It's going to land at about the 25. Taken by the up back. That is Pickering, and a nice play by Cole Bowie. First contact cleaned up by Alonzo Gino, but Hayden Pickering, a return of about 3 yards out to the 28, and that's where Hilldale will set up shop 1st and 10 with 9:10 left in the first quarter. Elk City on top, 8-0.
How big is it, special teams? And you can already pin them back because of great coverage like that.
Going back to their pistol with the back 9 yards off the ball.
Pistol formation, 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Kind of an H-back there is Mason Pickering. Snap, turn, hand off to Virgil. Virgil's going to be chopped down right at the line of scrimmage as Sammy Leal broke through the line. A loss of 1 back to the 27.
Pretty soon they're going to have to do something other than use him.
That's the game plan.
That is exactly the game plan. You want to put them in a situation what they don't want to do.
Two receivers split to the left of the formation. That's Pickering and Burton. Perez to the right. Pistol formation. Snap back. David rolls, looking for some room to run. He's going to be grabbed, and he's going to be slung to the ground by Tyler Moyer. The Ocho back inside the 20 at about the 17-yard line. That's a loss of 10, and it's 3rd and a mile for the Hilldale Hornets.
All week long watching on film, that's their weakness right there. When they get in passing situations, the rollout, their quarterback does not have the escapability factor of some other quarterbacks that we faced.
Obvious statement here, they did not want to do that.
Yeah, third down and 20 for the Hornets back at their own 18. David claps his hands, has it, looks to Burton. Burton, a little screen, he has it, breaks the tackle of Holder at the 20. He's going to be wrapped up as he crosses the 25. It was Blake Red, also Cooper Patton on the tackle. It was a gain of about 9, but nowhere near the sticks, and it looks like the Hornets are going to be forced to punt.
Momentum is rolling for the Elk City Big Elks right now. See if we get a good return here, get them in good field position. Got a chance to, kicking into the ever so light wind out of the north.
Alonzo Perez is the punter for the Hornets, standing at his own 15. Double safeties back with Garbarino on the Hilldale 48, Cole Bowie at the Big Elk 40. Good snap to Perez, toe to leather. It's a low line drive. It's going to hit at the 50, take a Hilldale bounce inside the Elk City 35 as Burton tries to help it along. A nice job there by Perez into the breeze, as you mentioned. It's going to end up being 23 and 13, 39-yard punt, no return. And the Elks set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line. Now they mark it at the 32-yard line. 7:14 left to play in the first quarter. Elk City leads Hilldale 8-0. Jaden Wynn into the lineup for the Elks this possession. He's at that fullback spot. Two receivers split tight to the left. Jones sends Patton in motion, and we've got another offside penalty called, I believe, against Hilldale.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Looked like either Rowland or Branchcombe take your pick there on the left side of the defense for Hilldale. So the Elks get a free 5 yards on first down. 1st and 5 from their own 37. They'll snap it from the right hash, working left to right on your radio dial. Jones is under center. Sends Patton in motion. Turn, jet sweep, running to the left as Patton trying to make a hold of the outside. Cuts it inside to the 45. Dives through a couple of tackles as he's chopped down. Nice play in the secondary by Burton, but not before Cooper Patton with the gain of about 10 and another Moxie Realty first down for the Elks.
Well, there's that first sweep we're looking for, seeing what it's going to look like to get in on the edge. And you can really thank Levy Owens for that as he's kind of sucked in that defense. They're always going to keep an eye on him, and that helps things out for Patton and company.
Cooper comes off kind of dangling that right arm. We'll see what happened there. 1st and 10 Elks at their own 47. Two receivers split out to the right. In motion is Garbarino. Turn, hand off to Owens. Levy crossed the line, the midfield stripe. Pushes forward to the Hilldale 48 for 5 on first down. Tackle made in there by Gage Rowland, number 15 for Hilldale.
Assisted by number 3, Riker Milton.
I'm just keeping an eye on Patton here, and I think you are too.
Yeah, I kind of was as well.
Looks like they're taping up his right elbow area. I think he'll be okay.
2nd and 5 Elks at the Hilldale 48-yard line. Two receivers split right. Under center is Jones, sends Garbarino in motion. Turns, hands it off to Big Levy. Levy runs through a tackle. He's got the 45. First down near the 40-yard line. As holding on for dear life out in the open field was Jace Walker of Hilldale. It's a gain of about 8 and another Moxie Realty first down for the Elk City Elks.
Yeah, he's running like a man possessed right here is Levy Owens. It's going to take 3 or 4 Hornets to get him down tonight.
5th first down in the first half of the first quarter. We've got 6 minutes left to play on that first quarter clock. The Elk City Elks lead 8-0 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard, looking for more. Matthew Thompson checks in at one of the wingbacks along with Garbarino. Two receivers split left. It's Keys and also Poole. Snap, handoff to Owens, met right in the backfield. A great play by Wyatt Branchcombe as he whipped the block up front, makes the tackle for no gain. Actually a loss of 1 back to the 42.
Yeah, give credit where credit's due. He just met him right there, shed his block, form tackle Levy Owens. Not a lot of people get to do that, so save the film, young man. Again, that's a badge of honor.
Levy checks out. Jaden Wynn will check in. Nope, Jaden, he's got the play. 15 on the play clock. The Elks break the huddle. Simmons and Keys split out to the right. Jones under center, sends Garbarino in motion. Turn, hand off to Jaden Wynn, crosses the 40, chopped down at the 35-yard line. Making the tackle was Riker Milton in the open field, but 8 yards on second down brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Elks. Nice run there by Wynn.
Wynn has been such a good second option when Levy has to come out, and you saw why right there. He's almost the lightning to Levy's thunder at that position. He just looks like he was shot out of a cannon, and if you get out of that one arm tackle, he's gone.
Patton back in there. 3rd down and 4 for the Elks at the 35-yard line of Hilldale, and this time Elk City's going to be called for moving early.
Dead ball foul, false start. Offense number 76, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
It backs the Elks up to their own 4, or the Hilldale 40, excuse me. 3rd down and 9. Poole splits left, Holder to the right. Jones under center, flex bone formation, sends Garbarino in motion, turns, sprints out to the left, going to throw it over the middle. He's got a man open, but it's stepping in front of it, and should have picked that pass off was Jace Walker. It's incomplete, 4th down for the Elks.
Yeah, got away with one right there. A little luck, never hurt anybody. And it's definitely lucky that it was not picked off, because I'm not sure how many brown and white offensive players would have been on that other side.
Walker would have had a chance at a pick 6 of 70 yards. I think you're right. So the punt team on for the Elks. The penalty comes up huge. Garbarino awaits the snap at the Elk City 47. Lamarian Burton back inside his own 10. Good snap. Toe to leather. Nice high spiral. Turns over. Burton calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 1 yard line. The 1 yard line is where Burton makes the fair catch, and that puts Hilldale in a world of hurt back up against their own goal line.
What a mental mistake that was. Yeah, right there at the 1. I'm not sure he knew where he was.
He lost track of where he was. Started at about the 10, and he just completely lost track.
Well, credit the boot, too.
That was a good boot.
Yeah.
39-yard punt. No return. Hilldale's got it at their own 1. With 4:04 to play in the first quarter, Elk City leads the Hornets 8-0. Burton will split out right. Bunch of guys back. You can see Walker and Pickering alongside Virgil. Virgil is in the Wildcat. He takes the snap, looking for some room to run over the right tackle. He's got out to about the 5 yard line. Give him a gain of 4 on first down.
Gives them breathing room. You would have hoped that they had gotten in there to prevent that.
And they went to the Wildcat a couple times last week. It looked like they were just practicing on it, and it seemed to work for them pretty well.
They're
Big blockers in there.
Yeah, they're going to stay in there. Pickering and Walker, the fullback, snap back to Virgil, look for some room to run on the outside. Chop down, nice play out in the open field. Cooper Garbarino stepping up, making the tackle back at the 3 for a loss of 2. Brings up a 3rd and long for Hilldale.
Not sure what Keefe was doing right there on the edge. He just went in and he took on the Ocho, and that sprung Garbarino. Great form tackle from Cooper. I almost called him Daniel.
It's okay. Sean called me, said I kicked last week.
Caden David back in there at the quarterback spot. Pistol formation, 3rd down and 8 for Hilldale at their own 3. Snap back. Looks. Now he steps up in the pocket, retreats, needing some work to go, breaks the tackle in the end zone to the 5 yard line. He's going to be tackled there. Nice job out in the open field once again. Was that Garbarino making the play after a gain of 2 yards? Almost a safety for the Ocho. Good move by David, but only a gain of 2, and it's going to bring up a 4th down and 6, and it looks like the Hornets are bringing on the punt team.
You know, if you're the Hornets, you're probably feeling a little sigh of relief for 2 reasons. 1, you had it at the 1, and 2, he was almost tackled there in the end zone, like you said. And 3, when he was tackled, he was hit on the ball carrying side. That could have popped out in this cold weather.
Got to watch the ball here.
Walker will be the punter this time. Low snap, has it. Line drive, lands at the 30-yard line of Hilldale. bounces forward to about the 41, maybe the 42, but the Elks with fantastic field position again, taking over at their own 42, leading 8-0 over the Hilldale Hornets with 2:09 left to play in the first quarter of this Class 4A quarterfinal here at Big Elk Stadium.
Checking in on other scores in Class 4A, Wagner on top of Tuttle 7-0. It's scoreless in Podo between Clinton and Podo, and Blanchard and Cushing are scoreless there in the first.
We're looking for a McDonald's player of the game at the end of this one. The Phillips family of McDonald's, Clinton, Weatherford, and Elk City. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Also a Culver Electric electrifying play. Brandon and Jill Culver at Culver Electric. Don't get your wires crossed. And that Barbara Dyson Ford, tough hit of the game, Bruce Barber. David and Corbin Dyson experience the Barbara Dyson difference. First and 10 for the Elks. Hand off to Owens, and he tripped himself in the backfield. Fell forward for 2. Looked like the Elks had something working there on the right side of the line, but Levy got his feet caught up. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Can't confirm this, but there might be a little bit of snow left over from Monday. He just slipped. Not his fault.
In my opinion, this is an extremely important drive right here.
I don't disagree, because it feels like the Elks ought to be up at least 2 scores at the end of this one with the way they dominated early. 2nd down and 8, Elks at the Hilldale 40. Jet sweep to Patton. Cooper bounces it to the outside, 40 to the 35 to the 30, and he's got a Moxie Realty first down as Cooper Garbarino sprung the play for Patton, and the Elks gain about 10 on 2nd and 8. It's a Moxie Realty first down. Amy Robbins at MoxieRealty.com, moving the chains with Moxie. Moxie makes it happen.
Yeah, there's Garbarino doing it again, just picking up where he left off from last week, able to seal it off over there on the far side.
1st and 10, Elk City at the Hilldale 30. 1.5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. 8-0 Elks. Patton sets up in the right slot. In motion left to right is Garbarino. The Elks moved.
Dadgummit.
I think that was Carson Price.
Wow. False start. Offense, number 57.
We had a lot of eye candy. Those guys were
5
down for a
yards.
long time right there.
Go first down.
So the last possession, the Elks were thwarted by a false start penalty, forcing a punt. This time, it'll be 1st down and 15 Elk City at the Hilldale 35. Bowie sprints on. He'll split out in the slot right. Holder outside near the numbers on the right. Jones sends Patton in motion. Trap play to Garbarino. He's going to be breaking a tackle. Dives forward. Nice play back there by Evan Keefe, because Garbarino had some room to operate if he breaks that tackle. Keefe trips him up after a gain of only a yard to the 34.
I was impressed he got out of it, actually.
Were they back there quick?
Yeah, 66 was back there.
They moved 66 to the left side now. I think he started on the right side.
2nd down and 14 Elks at the Hilldale 34. In motion is Garbarino left to right. Jones drops straight back, looks down the near sideline, intended for Garbarino. He threw it to Garbarino. Unfortunately, it was Daniel out by the track. Incomplete, 3rd down.
You get 2 hands on that next time, Daniel.
I wasn't going to pull a hamstring or pop an Achilles trying to jump for it.
That is our Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, Daniel Garbarino. Pioneer Cellular, the area's most reliable network. At Pioneer Cellular, you'll find the savings. He is also the State Farm agent here, and all the replays are State Farm agents, Daniel Garbarino. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Had to make a quick decision whether to hit the DB or not.
3rd and 14 Elks. They're running the jet sweep left. Patton cuts it up near the 30. It's only a gain of 2 to the 32. Now the Elks have a decision to make. 4th down and 12 at the Hilldale 32.
And they're going to have to snap it one more time this quarter, as the play clock is about 4 seconds before the game clock.
Garbarino checks into the lineup.
They're going to take a delay here.
Yeah, probably.
Coach Maynard standing by the side judge over here. Now they call a WTC timeout with 5 seconds to play on the first quarter clock. Elk City leads 8-0. They'll have a 4th down and 12 at the Hilldale 32. After we think Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman at Western Technology Centers, educating people for success with campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City.
We had a 4th and 4th and 10 from the 11 last week, or was it the 10?
Yeah, right on. Yeah, 4th and goal from the 10.
4th and goal from the 10, first quarter. Remember that play?
It was the only touchdown not scored by Cooper Patton.
That's right.
A week ago.
Also, we have, from what I understand, a 26 screen in this week.
Really?
Yeah. And my question was, can he catch it?
Yeah. I was watching some replays out in the street there in front of the stadium. He snagged a 2-point conversion down at Cash one-handed.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
There at the end.
Did the little shimmy there in the end zone. Yes.
Yes. Hey, thinking of Main Street Coffee and Cafe, Tammy, Kelsey, and Madison. The best place to be in downtown Elk City is Main Street Coffee and Cafe. It's like the Elks are going to bring the offense back on the field. It'll be 4th down and 12 at the Hilldale 32-yard line. Probably the last play of the first quarter. Elk City leads 8-0 over Hilldale on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. 2 receivers bunched to the right. 1 split out left. Jones under center. Drops straight back, now rolls to the right, being chased by Kanan David. He breaks a tackle, still going 30, 25, spins toward the first down marker. I think he's a hair shy.
He's a yard short.
They're not.
He had to get to the 20, and he's tackled at the 21. An 11-yard gain, but Hilldale holds, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. Elk City leads 8-0 after 1 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. Come back for second quarter action. This will be the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Our Western roots run deep at the Bank of Western Oklahoma. We believe a handshake truly is a binding contract, and that by working together, we can all prosper. We are proud to have 3 generations working with you at the Bank of Western Oklahoma, because here, people come first. Learn more about the benefits of banking locally at bankofwesternoklahoma.com. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Paul Jones Drug in Elk City invites you to their modern and convenient facility at 809 North Main Street. They've made it easier than ever to serve their customers, complete with a drive-through window, expanded compounding lab, and tons of parking. And Paul Jones Drug offers free delivery in the Elk City area. Paul Jones Drug is locally owned and operated by Rodney Skinner. He and his staff are always friendly and knowledgeable. Come check out Paul Jones Drug, 809 North Main Street in Elk City. Paul Jones Drug, care you can trust.
Welcome back. It's the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football. Class 4A quarterfinal. We've reached the second quarter. The Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets 8-0. Hilldale just got a stop on 4th down. They'll take over 1st and 10 with the nose of the football near the 21-yard line. They're working left to right here in the second quarter. 3 receivers split out to the right, 1 to the left. Virgil is the running back. Shotgun snap back to David. Pressures. Steps up. Now he throws a long pass down the near sideline. Burton's open. Burton in and out of his hands. But a flag is back inside the 15 as Lamarian Burton broke contain. Couldn't make the catch at the Elk City 45. Will check the flag.
He's motioning hold. Take it.
We're waiting for the PA announcer to stop giving scores, so.
Holding on the offense, number 77, half the distance to the goal, first down.
And Blake Red's jersey was completely turned around.
That's probably an indication that's a hold.
That's a huge penalty as well.
Look at that mark.
The flag. Go ahead.
Spot penalty, man. That's big.
Yeah, it's thrown at the 11. It's back to about the 6-yard line. First down at 24 for Hilldale, back at their own 6. David in the pistol formation, has the snap, hand off to Virgil, tries to break it to the outside, does. Nice play there by Cooper Patton coming up and making the tackle as Virgil spun around the 10 to about the 13-yard line. Gain of 6 for Eric Virgil. The Elks dominated on the stat sheet in the first quarter, 15 rushes, 89 yards in that touchdown, whereas Hilldale only 5 carries for 3 rushing yards in the first quarter. Second down and 18, Hilldale at their own 13. 2-by-2 formation this time. David in the pistol, has the snap, Looks to his left, pump fakes, throws a long pass down the far sideline. Patton is closest to it at the midfield stripe. It falls incomplete, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 18 for the Hornets back at their own 13.
I just got this feeling that's what they don't want to do. If we continue to keep them at 2nd and long, 3rd and long, and force them to throw it downfield, that's out of their comfort zone, and that's going to play well into Elk City's hands here, and expect another shot downfield right here.
The Elks run a guy on late. They need to get Nick Medina off there. They do. 3rd down and 18. Snap back to David. Looks in the flat. Steps up. No pressure. Now here comes the pressure from the backside. Throwing him down for a sack is Blake Red back to the 10. And Hilldale's going to be forced to punt from their own end zone.
Watch how he kind of went around the defender and never gave up on the play. Good job, Blake Red.
Elk City defense dominating so far. They lead 8-0 with just under 11 minutes to play before half. Perez standing on the C in the end zone of Elk City. Garbarino at the 30 of Hilldale. Cole Bowie about the 40. Good snap here to Perez. Kick wobbler right to Bowie. Catches it at the 40. Cole to the near side, 35. He's going to be knocked down at the 30. Nice tackle there on special teams made by Jacob Jones. But Bowie with a 9-yard return. Might even give him 10. And the Elks set up shop 1st and 10 at the Hilldale 30, trying to forge a 2-score lead with 10:26 to play in the second, leading 8-0.
Kate, give him 10. Give him 10, Kate. Yeah, we need to punch this in here. Great field position for the Big Elks. Got to limit the mistakes, though. That's what's bogged down drives.
We have lived in their field, their side of the field. We lived over there. Gotta get one.
No first downs yet for Hilldale's offense. The Elks have it 1st and 10 at the Hornets 31. In motion left to right, Garbarino. Hand off to Owens. Owens is going to be knocked down in the backfield or right at the line of scrimmage. Evan Keefe, big number 66 for the Hornets, making the tackle. As I mentioned in the pregame, he's an Air Force commit along the offensive line, but playing a nice job there on defense. They actually mark it for a loss of 1 back to the 32.
It's going to be a cat and mouse game all night, depending on where he's lined up, which way we kind of want to run it.
Yeah, they him back to the left side now.
2nd down and 11 for the Elks at the Hilldale 32. Holder and Poole split left. Jones sends Garbarino in motion. It's the trap play back to the near side. Patton breaks it out to the outside at the 30, to the 25. He's going to be thrown down inside the 25-yard line. Or right at the 25. It's a gain of 7. And that'll bring up a 3rd down and 4 for the Elks.
Good elusiveness here, and did he get grabbed up high around the face mask area?
It was definitely. That's why I was throwing my imaginary flag.
3rd and 4, Elk City at the Hilldale 25. They'll snap it from the near hash, short side of the field, working right to left, which is south to north. Jones under center, sends Garbarino in motion, turns, hands off to Owens. Owen pushes the pile forward near the first down marker.
Good spot.
They gave him the 20, a 5-yard gain, and a Moxie Realty first down. We're going to
use the face mask.
1st and 10 Elks. I got to tell him though. 1st and 10 Elks. At the Hilldale 20. So the Elks back inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone. And the Elks going to have to call a WTC timeout.
12 on the field, I believe.
All right, well, they take a break. Let's thank some sponsors. Big thank you to Ace Home Center. Ace is the place. Our scoreboard sponsor, George and Jim Bob Browning. Visit your locally Ace Home Centers nearest you. Also, a big thank you to Anadarko Dozer and Trucking. Thank you to, I can't find them on my pitch sheet, but big thank you to Anadarko Dozer and Trucking. There they are, Jay and Angie Wyatt, committed to excellence. Second quarter. Let's make that right on the scoreboard. Elk City up 8-0 here against Hilldale in the 4A quarterfinals. And Daniel, you said that, and we'll get with you as we kind of make some adjustments for you, but you
473.125 on your mic. 473.125. Coming out of the WTC timeout. The Elks have it 1st and 10 at the Hilldale 20. In motion is Patton. He's got it. Looking for some room to run. Picks through a hole at the 20. Slung down sideways at about the 17, maybe a gain of 3. Jace Walker and also the middle linebacker there, Aiden Jenkins, making the tackle. They only give him 2 at the 18. 8:50 left on the first half clock. Elk City leads Hilldale 8-0, looking for more. 2nd and 8 at the Hilldale 18. Under center is Jones. Turns. He's going to hand it off to Owens. Owens pushes the pile forward for about 2 to the 16. There you go. Let's try that.
It's hard to do with cold fingers.
It'll be 3rd down and 6 for the Elks at the Hilldale 16-yard line. Jones under center, sends Garbarino in motion. He's going to run the option play. He's got some room to run, cuts it inside of the 10. He's going to have a 1st down, spinning toward the 5-yard line. Nice job there from Austin Jones, taking the sure 1st down. He needed 6, got 10 down to the Hilldale 6.
And that's all done by 26 up the middle, 26 up the middle.
Number 33 on the tackle, Jace Walker.
More like that should be open.
Yeah. I remind our listeners on Cool 94, you can watch this game on cool94.com. I believe Big Elk TV is having some issues. So we're going to just remind everybody, or no, I'm being told to keep it on Big Elk TV. It's working now.
And for our listeners and viewers out there, it's 24 degrees down here.
1st and goal, Elks at the Hilldale 6. Turn, handoff to Owens. Levy diving toward the goal line. He stopped at about the 2. Maybe the 1, 2-yard line.
I gave him the 2.
A gain of 4. It'll be 2nd down and goal for the Elks at the Hilldale 2 as the clock ticks off near 7 minutes to play in the 2nd quarter. Elk City with an 8-0 advantage, trying to stretch it out to 2 touchdowns or more.
The 2-yard line.
Devin Simmons sprints into the game with the play. Play clock at 15, so no real hurry here as the Elks break it with 10. Jones under center. Snap, turn, handoff to Owens. Levy off right tackle, walks right into the end zone, and that's a touchdown for the Big Elks as Wyatt Branchcombe wanted a hold, didn't get it, and he almost got a 15-yard flag. 2nd touchdown for Owens, and Elk City leads 14-0. 14 rushes, 61 yards, and 2 touchdowns for Levy Owens, and the Elks are going to go for 2 again.
I like this approach, going for 2. You don't get it, you're still up 2 touchdowns. You get it, that's cherry on top. And great job, Levy Owens. He's having a day, making a bid to be our McDonald's player of the game here early.
You're getting some great blocking up there, too, man.
2-point conversion.
The Elks go for 2. Jones sends Patton in motion, hands it off to Cooper. Cooper bursts through a hole. He's in the end zone, and he got another 2-point conversion. The Elks lead 16-0 with 6:43 to play in the first half.
And that was all because of that blocking, Daniel, like you just mentioned. Sealed up everybody, and he found the crease. Let's go back to that touchdown from Big Levy Owens here on the State Farm replay. And again, the blocking has been fantastic. He just waltzed in through an arm tackle. Again, making a bid to be our player of the game. Elk City leads at 16-0. 6:43 left to go here in the 2nd quarter. 8-play, 69-yard touchdown drive. I didn't check the clock when it started, but it consumed a lot of it because we're already at, like I said, 6:43 left to go here in the 2nd. This has kind of been a fast-paced, moving game.
It's been a fast game. It's been I mean, you feel like as an Elk City fan that we should be up a little bit more because we've lived on their side of the field, but I mean, we had to punch that one in, and we did.
Looking at other scores in the area, Tuttle's tied it up with Wagner 7-7. Poto's leading Clinton 7-0. Cushing on top of Blanchard 7-0. That's in the 2nd.
Here it's 16-0 Elks. Hilldale, to your point, Daniel, it has been on their side of the ball. Only 8 plays of offense so far from the Hornets. Well, 3 and outs, 9 plays. 8 runs and a pass.
Got no first downs yet.
No first downs. Short kick Waving the hand and calling the fair catch is Mason Pickering at the 33-yard line.
That's probably where you want to call a fair catch.
Perfect spot.
Yeah, that was a little bit higher that time from Kai.
Great kick.
Yeah, not quite as far down the field, but higher. And so Hilldale takes over by far their best field position at their own 33.
Nice kick.
16-0 Elks, 6:43 to play in the first half.
Hey, special thanks, shout out to Through Tubing Solutions for putting this big heater down here on the sidelines. I'm not getting any of it, but there's a group of dudes around it.
First and 10 Hilldale, the Wildcat formation with Virgil back there. In motion right to left is Branchcombe. He's trying to set the edge over toward the left side of the defense. Virgil breaks a couple of tackles and does a pretty darn good job to get back to the line of scrimmage. Robertson put a shoulder into him back at the 30, didn't wrap up, but no gain on first down for Eric Virgil.
Yeah, just stretching it out, but you can see why he's a good runner. I don't know who took a shot at him. You maybe said it.
Yeah, Robertson, 28.
Yeah, couldn't get him down. I thought Ocho was going to come up behind him.
They actually mark him back at the 32, so a loss of a yard there for Virgil brings up 2nd down and 11 for Hilldale. Same Wildcat formation. Snap right to Virgil, picks his way up the middle, bounces it to the left, to the outside. The Oaks do a good job, though, swarming him under at about the 35-yard line, and now we have a flag fly.
That has to be on them. He came after Kobe East, came after him.
No, after the play, Nick hit him in the head.
So instead of 3rd down and 8, it looks like Hilldale may have their first down.
After the play's over, personal foul. Defense number 20, 15 yards, results in the first down.
I think he was telling him good job.
Yeah, I do too.
I think he was telling him good job. That's what he just told Maynard.
Yeah, you caught it right there on the State Farm replay.
That's just a bad call.
He comes in, away from the play.
First down and 10, though.
Call.
1st and 10 for Hilldale at the midfield stripe. Pistol formation, snap, handoff to Jace Walker. Walker breaks the tackle at the 45, down to the 40. That's a first down after a gain of 12 for Jace Walker, right off the right tackle for Hilldale. And the Hornets, for the first time all night, have something cooking on the offensive side. They want to go fast. 1st and 10, Hornets at the Elk City 38. David in the pistol. Right behind him is Walker. In motion is Pickering. They fake it to him. Walker over the left side, ducks his head, crosses the 35 down to about the 33-yard line. That's a gain of 5 and brings up 2nd and 5. Hilldale taking a page out of the Canadian Wildcat book here, going ultra fast, trying to get set up to get back in this game. 16-0 Elk City, 5:40 left in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the near side of the field. David in the pistol, takes the snap, handoff to Walker, breaks the tackle at the 30, into the secondary at the 25. Nice tackle there. Shoesting play made by Matthew Thompson, but a gain of 10 for Walker, and it's 1st and 10 Hilldale at the Elk City 23 as Virgil steps back in to replace Jace Walker.
They're just gashing us there. They're good. That was good blocking by them. 1's back in the game, 14's back in. Or 14's been in, 1's back in.
Yeah, Virgil on the left hip of David this time. 1st and 10, Hilldale from the Elk City 23. In motion is Pickering. They're going to run the jet sweep, looking for a room to run on the left. The Elks string it out, and a nice tackle in the open field made by Cooper Garbarino right at the line of scrimmage. Bring up 2nd down and 10.
That's where the defense works, is when they can stretch it out like that. Maintain your block or getting blocked and let your guys help you out.
2 by 2. Well, 1 receiver left and a tight end left, 2 receivers right. Virgil, the running back, snap back to David, throws it out in the flat. He's got Pickering at the 20, spins out of a tackle at the 15, down near the first down marker at the 13. It's Mason Pickering. A 10-yard pitch and catch, and it's a 1st and 10 for Hilldale at the Elk City 13. 4:25 to play in the second quarter, 16-0 Elks, but Hilldale's best possession offensively by far here with the 1st and 10 inside the red zone. David takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looking for some room to run up the middle. He's going to be knocked down at the 10-yard line by Sammy. They give him the 9 as he kind of went over the top of Leal for a gain of 4. 2nd and 6 for Hilldale at the Elk City 9. Receiver left, tight end left, 2 receivers right in the pistol formation. Hand off to Virgil. Virgil dances in the backfield, tries to burst through a hole, does, and he's into the end zone. You can see why Eric Virgil has rushed for 5,000 yards and now 73 touchdowns, as the Elks had him dead to rights at the line of scrimmage, couldn't make the tackle, and that's going to be a touchdown for the Hilldale Hornets, making it 16-6 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard.
Let's see if they chase points or kick it here.
They're kicking, man. They have maybe the heaviest field goal kicker in 4A, number 75.
Cash Schiller, 275 listed weight.
Bang. He can boot it too.
45 of 51 PATs this year. Snap is high. It's going to be the fire play. Perez looks for somebody in the end zone, fires it on the far pylon. Incomplete as Jaden Wynn planted him back at the 20. So it remains a 10-point advantage for the Elk City Elks, 16-6, with 3:42 to play in the first half.
And Jordan at Gas bought 5 train horns, and they're in the stands.
We can hear them.
He sent me a text with a picture of them last night. I was like, oh my goodness.
Speaking of Gas, the Williamson family at Gas will have the halftime stats and analysis at Gas. It's all gas and no brakes.
That's a big deal right there. Still up 10.
Yeah, it is.
One is good. When he gets in, when he gets a little space, man, his cutback and his vision, it's very good. We've done a great job of containing him so far. And remember, we had that drive stalled. That drive was stalled.
The huge personal foul penalty, instead of a 3rd and 8 back at the Hilldale 30, it ended up being a 1st and 10 at the 50. And then from there, they took advantage.
It was not a personal foul because he was telling the kid, good job. I said that loud enough so the referee would hear me.
Cash Schiller will do the kickoff chores here for the Hilldale Hornets. Elk City leads 16-6 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. See you, buddy. Now remember, Elk City does start the second half with the football as well. So this is a big moment in this game for the Elks to put some distance between themselves and the Hornets. Low liner goes over Garbarino's head, bounces into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and Elk City takes over 1st and 10 at their own 20. The Elks with only 1 timeout at their disposal here. They've scored on half their drives.
Well, we've always said it. When they play mistake-free football, this Big Elk team is dang near unstoppable on offense. It's been the mistakes that have slowed down drives this first half for the Big Elks. And yet they still lead at 16-6. So let's see if they can put together a mistake-free drive with 3:42 left to go in the half.
They'll snap it from dead in the middle of the field, right to left on your radio dial. 1st and 10 at the Elk City 20. Austin Jones under center, turns, hands it off to Owens. Nope, yeah, he did hand it off. Levy fights through the first tackle at the line of scrimmage. Plows forward for about 2. Evan Keefe once again, big 66 on the bottom of the pile. Also Aiden Jenkins, number 11, the linebacker, helping to clean it up.
Yeah, that guy is a force, Keefe.
Yes. 66 and 44 are solid.
Yeah, they're pretty big dudes. The Elks break the huddle with 10 on the play clock. 2nd down and 8 at their own 22. Jones sends Patton in motion. He's going to hand it off to Cooper, looking for a hold. Has one at the 25. Tripped up from behind as Virgil makes the tackle, but not before Cooper Patton gains 7 yards to the 29, and it'll bring up 3rd down and a yard for the Elks. Jenkins a little slow to get up there for the Hornets. He's going to limp off, replaced by Mason Pickering at that linebacker spot. Now we have
Patton came off a little limp as well for the Big Elks.
33 is going off for a limp with them.
Yeah, Jace Walker's off.
Man, that was a dadgum triage play right there.
1 Elk and 2 Hornets head off. The officials blow the whistle for a kind of an officials timeout.
Yeah, let the injured get off.
Now the Elks have it 3rd down and a yard at their own 29-yard line. Jones under center, turns, handed off to Owens. Owens dances through a hole at the 30, has a 1st down. He needed a yard and got 8 out to the 37. That's a Moxie Realty 1st down for the Elk City Elks. with 2:20 left to play in the first half. The brown and white lead 16-6.
Still a lot of time to work with here with one more timeout. Oh, no. On the replay, he got patted on the head. Surprised they didn't throw a flag.
First and 10 Elks at their own 37-yard line. Two receivers split to the near side. It's Simmons and Holder. In motion is Patton. Handed off to Cooper again. Down to his outside, this time at the 35. Ducks his head and just gets what he can to the 39 as Mason Pickering makes the tackle, stringing it out after a gain of about a yard.
Yeah, gave up ground and then he saw the hole and tried to hit it real hard, but he was caught from behind.
Clock runs with 1:40 to play in the first half. Elk City leads 16-6 over Hilldale, and they have a 2nd and 9 at their own 38-yard line. Jones under center. He's going to run the trap play back to Patton. Patton can't break a tackle. What a play there in the open field by Mason Forehand. If he doesn't make that tackle, it might be 6. But Forehand makes the play, and now Hilldale wants to call one of their WTC timeouts, the first of the half, with 1:17 to play on that second quarter clock. Nice play by Forehand at the line of scrimmage. Otherwise, that one was looking like it had a lot of room to work for the Elks.
Yeah, we had a missed block there, or a missed assignment, I guess. It wasn't a missed block because he wasn't blocked. It was just a missed assignment.
So they finally moved the stick. I was wondering if they stop him at the point of attack.
Yeah.
Well, they finally moved it back, so it was a loss.
It's one of the first times this year that that's happened, especially out of that formation with the twins to the right and it coming back the other way.
So Hilldale calls their first Western Technology Center timeout. We'll thank Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman. WTC is educating people for success. They've got campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City. 1:20 left in the first half. The Elks will come out of this timeout with a 3rd and 9 at their own 38. They lead.
3rd and 12, actually.
The ball is marked at the 38.
I'm looking at the far stick.
Yeah. The ball's marked at the 38.
That's where I was. That's what I mentioned earlier. Do they stop it at the forward of progress at the point of attack? So that you're right. That's that.
Yeah, I think the stick on the far side chain gang is in the wrong spot.
Up. Okay.
Yeah, it's 3rd and 9 at the Elk City 38. One timeout for the Elks, 2 for Hilldale.
That's Coach Dennard over there on the stick. So.
And now
he got it right.
They got him up.
Well, yeah, I just had people in his way.
Two receivers right, one to the left. Jones under center, sends Garbarino in motion. Sprints right, throws it back to Owens. Levy's by himself at the 35. Good block out there by Carson Price. Levy runs a man over near the 45, but that's short, and they mark him out of bounds at the 43.
There's your screen.
That throwback screen gains 5, but it's 4th down, and the Elks have a decision to make with 1:12.
What kind of spot is that?
He stepped out of bounds.
What a play by one right there. Did you see him fighting Carson right there?
Yeah, Eric Virgil stopped that one.
He was the only one out there.
Looked like he was out of the play. Looked like he fell down.
The Elks bring the punt team on. Garbarino standing at his own 30. Lamari and Burton at the Hilldale 30. 1:12 left in the first half. A huge stop by the Hornets defense. High, wobbly punt. It's going to land at the Hilldale 35, take an Elk City bounce near the 26-yard line. So the Hornets take over, 1st and 10 at their own 26 with 1:02 left on the first half clock. Elk City leads 16-6, but I got to tell you guys, if I'm Hilldale, I feel really good about where this game stands, the way that the Elks have dominated this first half.
Yeah, they could. Elk City could easily be up a lot more than just 10 points. And with the way that Hilldale moved the football their last possession, they could be feeling pretty good. Now, Elk City with 1:10 here, or 1:02 here, they need to not let that happen again.
Two receivers left, one to the right. Hilldale jumped a false start. They had a couple of different guys moving.
Dead ball foul. False start. Number 2 on the offense. 5 yards. Still 1st down.
Clearly the horns are working.
I mean, it's loud.
Yeah, it's loud.
I mean, he just looked at me and blew it.
Tight end split to the left, two receivers left, one to the right. David in the shotgun, claps his hands, takes the snap, looks over the middle. Still going, directing traffic. He's going to step up and run for it. A nice tackle in the open field by Matthew Thompson at the 26-yard line.
Timeout.
And a WTC timeout called by Hilldale. Their second timeout called of the half. It was a gain of about 5, right back to the original line of scrimmage. Matthew Thompson out in the open field. We'll thank Western Technology Centers for this timeout. Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman at WTC, educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City. Where did you get to?
I jumped around. I did Anadarko. Thank them.
Okay. Thank you to Smith Title in closing. Billy and Jennifer Smith. Outstanding opening and exceptional closing. Also, our good friend Rodney Skinner at Paul Jones Drug. Paul Jones Drug is care you can trust with free delivery in the Elk City area.
Man, Rodney's Christmas lights on his house look tremendous. They're so straight.
That doesn't surprise me.
I mean, it's the red and white, and it's just great. I mean, it's great content.
It doesn't surprise me that they're straight. Knowing Rodney for all these years,
they're perfect.
It doesn't surprise me.
Like his golf game, right?
That's right. He wouldn't have it any other way. All right, coming out of the WTC timeout, it's 2nd down and 10, Hilldale at their own 26, 48 seconds left in the first half clock. 2-by-2 formation, pistol. Caden Daniels slapped his hands, looks, now rolls to the left, being pressured by Red, fires a pass. It's going to be caught by Pickering at the 35-yard line, shy of a first down. It'll be 3rd and 1 with the clock running down to 30.
Yeah, it kept them inbounds.
Yeah, inbounds.
Good job by Caden Holder over there. 3rd down and a yard. Clock runs with 28.
He's waiting for the play.
David doesn't have the play. And now it's the final Western Technology Center timeout of the half, whistled by Coach David Blevins of the Hilldale Hornets. Great job over there by Caden Holder making that tackle and keeping Pickering short of the first down and also inbound to keep that clock running.
Yeah, that was how many, we saw it last year, a couple times this year where the catch was made and pushed him out of bounds before they can get a foot down. That time the catch was made and kept him inbounds and kept him short of the sticks.
That play started with 48.3 seconds, and it's down to 21.9. So that's got to be at least a 12 to 15 second advantage gained by the Elks defense with the play over on the far sideline by Caden Holder.
That's why, kids, you never give up on a play because of stuff like that. You force them to use a timeout. They were not ready to try to send in a play as quick as they could because they thought he was out of bounds. I think they did over there.
3rd down and a yard for Hilldale. Interesting formation here, kind of a swinging gate looking formation with Pickering the center.
Watch the run.
Now they whip a couple of offensive linemen. Virgil takes the snap, steps back, looks to throw, throws it over the middle. Pickering makes a diving catch at the 42, maybe the 43-yard line. It's a first down, and now Hilldale's got to hurry. 16.7 on the first half clock as it winds after the first down. That's Virgil, takes the snap and throws it to the ground with 12.7 seconds left, and we've got a flag on the far side of the field.
Was everybody set?
We're about to find out.
I don't think 7 was set over here.
Illegal formation. On the offense. 5 yards. Still first down.
So as you heard from Mr. Troy Hubler, 5-yard penalty backs Hilldale up to their own 37-yard line. 1st and 15, no timeouts for the Hornets. 12.7 seconds to play in the first half. The gas stats and analysis coming at halftime. And also everybody's favorite segment, the text line to text us and tell us where you're watching from. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. 1st and 15, Hilldale at their own 37-yard line. David claps his hands, has the snap, pressured immediately, gets out of a tackle, throws it over on the sideline. It is caught by Jace Walker. I didn't see a sign. Incomplete. He must have been out of bounds. That play took half of the time. 6.9 left here in the first half. 16-6 Elks. Hilldale's got it 2nd and 15 at their own 37. The Elks will receive the opening kick of the 3rd quarter. David trying to get the play. He deploys 1 receiver left. H-back right, 2 receivers right. Kane and David takes the snap. Pitch sweep. Going to be a halfback pass as Virgil has Burton open. He overthrew him at the 30 with 0.6 seconds left on the first half clock. Cooper Patton was coming over to not allow that thing to be a touchdown. Maybe. Incomplete. One more snap, barring a defensive penalty here in the first half.
Coach Hunt's complaining about who's running the clock.
He's also coaching. I just heard him yell, nothing behind you.
He's out here. He's in the game, baby.
We're about to see how far David can throw it.
3rd and 15, Hilldale at their own 37.6 left on the first half clock. Kanan David has the snap. Looks pressured. He's going to be thrown to the ground. Ball's loose. Gage Eastman falls on it. Almost a chance at a scoop and score to end the first half. Instead, it's a sack recovered at the 20 for the Elks. And at halftime, the Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets by a score of 16-6 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. I tell you what, let's pause 10 seconds for station ID before we hit the break. This is Big Elk Football.
You're listening to Big Elk Sports on 94.3 KXOO Elk City, Cool 94.
At halftime, the Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets by a score of 16-6 on your Ace Home Center scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll have the Gas analysis, the Gas halftime stats, and of course, let us know where you're watching from. 580-225-9698 is the text line. We want to know where you're at and what you're enjoying here in the first half. 16-6 Elks at half. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk Football.
Since 2005, Pedro's Mexican Grill in Elk City has made their famous homemade tortillas fresh every day. In addition to great menu choices like street tacos, birria tacos, fajitas, quesadillas, and steaks cooked to perfection, and also delicious desserts like their encanaladas. Enjoy Mexican flag enchiladas every Monday, and all-you-can-eat catfish every Tuesday. Plus, Pedro's is the official sports watch spot to catch all the Big Elk TV and Paragon TV action. They'll also deliver. Call 580-225-3644. Find them on Facebook. Pedro's Mexican Grill, 902 South Main Street in Elk City.
As your ag financial partner, agriculture is a big part of what we do. And with today's economy, it takes big planning and the right equipment. That's where we come in. Whether you're expanding, have equipment needs, or just need day-to-day operational capital, we're here for you to keep your operation growing.
They're your neighbors and your friends, and they're right here with you. First National Bank and Trust of Elk City and Sayre. Member FDIC.
Whether your electric needs are for a small home, remodel, or even a multi-million-dollar facility, there's no job Culver Electric can't handle. Since 2004, Brandon and Jill Culver have strived to bring top-notch service to all of central and western Oklahoma. Residential, commercial, and industrial jobs performed by knowledgeable, friendly staff. Culver is a business built on Christian values, hard work, and outstanding quality. Call 580-243-5846 for your electric needs. Culver Electric, keeping the lights on.
Ace is the only hardware retailer that carries Benjamin Moore paint at over 3,800 stores. With Benjamin Moore's premium quality, huge selection of colors, plus Ace's award-winning service, you can be confident you're getting the best. Then buy in store or online for curbside pickup or free delivery. When you want the best, Benjamin Moore paint from Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock, with people who know their paint.
Owners George and Jim Bob Browning invite you to visit the locally owned Ace Home Centers nearest you, or shop online at elksupply.com.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
This is 100% fresh beef, with 2 slices of melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. This is a burger that strongly suggests you take a seat. It marks its territory, leaving behind a graveyard of napkins, and won't be contained by a humble sesame seed bun. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese.
McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City, proudly owned and operated by the Phillips family.
Main Street Coffee and Cafe in downtown Elk City is a great place to drink coffee with friends and family. With their awesome specialty coffees and drinks like frappes, cappuccinos, chai teas, and more, both hot and cold. Try their delicious soup and sandwiches and incredible edible cheesecakes and desserts. Plus, they have specialty gifts and a wide selection of coffee flavorings. With the area's most interesting decor and meeting rooms, Main Street Coffee is the best place to be. You'll find the most personal service every day at Main Street Coffee and Cafe right on the corner of Main and Broadway, downtown Elk City, and find them on Facebook.
Western Technology Center has 25 full-time training programs represented in 4 campuses across western Oklahoma. Check out westtech.edu for more information. WTC is committed to educating people for success.
Great Plains Analytical Services salutes all of the young men and women in the Elk City school system, and they urge each of them to apply the philosophy of all gas, no brakes to their academic studies, their fine arts performances, and their athletic contests, and hopes they carry this right on into their adult lives. GAS also sincerely thanks Elk City school board members for their service and the teachers, coaches, and administrators for their leadership. Let's all work together to make Elk City and America great again.
Welcome back to Big Elk Stadium. It's halftime of this Class 4A quarterfinal. The Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets by a score of 16-6. It's time for the GAS analysis of the first half. Our Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter is Daniel Garbarino. Daniel, what did you see down there eye level in the first half?
Eye level, can y'all hear me with the band right there?
Oh, yeah, we got you.
Okay, all right. Eye level, I feel like it's a repeat of kind of where we've seen Big Elk football this year. We seem to be dominating both lines, in my opinion. And I didn't expect us to be able to dominate the way we have. I mean, if you think about it, we had 3 penalties thwart 3 drives in their territory. So I feel like we're better than they are up front, but we still have a whole half of football to play. So we have to come back out with that same intensity, that same drive, keep one in front of us. We saw how good he was there for a minute there, and I'm sure he's gone over 5,000 yards now for his career. So we've got to keep him in front of us. We've got to continue to make good open field tackles and get after it.
Yeah, for me, it feels like 16-6 is probably a best-case scenario so far for Hilldale, honestly, just because of the way the Elks controlled the time of possession in the first quarter and also the field position game. It was in the Hilldale half for 4/5 of that first half.
Yeah, it's definitely, I think they're in their locker room saying, woof, we dodged one. We dodged one, and we're probably in there saying, hey, we're better than they are. Let's go. Let's quit, cut the penalties out, quit making brain mistakes, mental mistakes, and let's continue to dominate.
That is the GAS halftime analysis from our Pioneer Cellular sideline reporter, Daniel Garbarino. Now we'll have the GAS halftime stats brought to you by the Williamson family at GAS. All gas, no brakes. You can hear the Williamson family tonight loud and clear with the train whistles. Jared Eighth has got the stats.
Those train whistles have some gas. All right. Let's start with the team stats. We'll start with the Elk City. 9 first downs in the first half. They ran it 28 times for 138 yards. That's at 4.9 yards a carry. Throwing it only 3 times, completed 1 for 5 yards. It's a total of 141 yards total offense. That's a 4.5 per play. They have not turned the ball over tonight. For Hilldale, 5 first downs. They ran it 15 times for 56 yards. That's at 3.7 yards per carry. Passed it 4 times for 7 yards for 36 yards. Total offense under 100, 92 yards. Yards per play, 4.2. And they turned it over there 2 times. One in their first possession and one in their last possession of the half. Let's look at some individual stats. And we'll start with Elk City. Of course, Austin Jones, the quarterback, completing that 1 pass for 5 yards. He completed it to Levy Owens. Was there on that screen pass. He got 5 yards trying to convert that 3rd and long. Rushing, we will just go with most to least. Levy Owens had 16 carries, 71 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Right at his average at 4.4 yards a carry. 8 carries for Cooper Patton for 39 yards, averaging about 4.9 yards a carry. Austin Jones, couple of carries for 20 yards. And Cooper Garbarino, a carry, it says a yard. I believe that's right. And Jaden Wynn came in relief and had a nice carry for 7 yards. Now, we're wondering, what is Eric Virgil doing? Listen, he's over the 5,000-yard mark, but that's not a guarantee. If he gets hit for some losses, he could be under the 5,000-yard mark. He's carried it 10 times, 25 yards, guys. That's a 2.5 per carry. Of course, he had that one dancing in touchdown for their only score of the evening. So there you go. That's kind of the story right there, holding Eric Virgil to just 25 yards there in the first half. Continue to do that. that Big Elks are going to be okay. Again, Elk City leads it. Score of 16-6 at the half over Hilldale. Aaron?
Yeah. Let me look here.
What you got?
You want to do scores or you want to start the madness?
Let's do scores. Tease the madness, take a break, come back to the madness of the text line.
Class B, quarterfinal up in Sealing at halftime. The Sealing Wildcats lead the Hollis Tigers 16-8. You can watch that one on ParagonTV.com. Chip Moore there on the call for the Tigers and the Wildcats. So Hollis trails 16-8 at halftime in Class B. In Class 4A, the scores ought to be nearing the half everywhere around the state of Oklahoma. You got it? Mine's spinning.
Yeah, I got it. Tuttle
spinning.
is leading Wagner at half 10-7, and Clinton and Poto are all tied up at 7-7. That says second quarter, but that was updated 12 minutes ago, so I'm going to guess that's probably at half. And Cushing is all over Blanchard 21-0 at the break.
That's your scores from 4A and also from the Hollis Tigers. Here at 6.
I might want to. I might be a little biased here. You want to hit some small school basketball scores?
Not really.
Okay, let's move on.
We can do it when we come back.
Okay.
People are ready to get their name said on the radio, Jared.
Okay,
my phone is blowing up. So we'll take a break. 580-225-9698 is the text line.
Thunder score?
Get your name to us, and we'll tell you as many as we possibly can here for about 12 minutes or so. 16-6, the Elks lead at halftime. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5. How will you know which 2 to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Quentin Nichols is from Elk City, a graduate of Elk City. You got Chris Coy. He is Elk City born and bred. Ray Haven is from Cheyenne, so he is a Western Oklahoma guy, of course. Kirby McBroom, Elk City guy. Of course, my dad, David Dyson, Elk City. Ed Stewart, who is our sales manager, is from Clinton.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Big Elk Auto Mall in Elk City is your one-stop automotive shop. In one location, you'll find professional automotive services like gas and diesel mechanics, expert exhaust installation, and certified auto body technicians who do it all from detailing to frame-off restorations. Owned by local guys with local ties, and they're fully insured. They're located in the old Summer J building across from the Elk City Convention Center. And at Big Elk Auto Mall, a percentage of every sale goes directly to the Elk City High School Athletics Program. If you need it, they do it. All insurances are accepted. Go Big Elks. Say habla español.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
A home really is their safe place. We love working with our clients and finding them that security space. And that's what's so fulfilling. When I see birthday parties at a house that we had shot for with this client, and we're watching all of these memories kind of unfold and build in these homes, that's what's so rewarding.
Moxie Realty and Auction Company. MoxieRealty.com.
Jake from State Farm. I want that personal price plan. So how's this for personal? I draw mustaches on players' faces when they're asleep.
Coach Reed, you don't need to get that personal to get the State Farm personal price plan. It helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Oh.
Coach, it happened again.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of this.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino in Elk City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Buying and selling a home is a huge deal. Buyers are excited to get into a house they really want. Sellers are happy they can move on to the next phase in their life. But behind the scenes, someone's got to handle all that paperwork. And if things don't go right, the deal falls through. That's why buyers, sellers, and realtors all like working with Billy and Jennifer Smith. They're professional, they're thorough, and they're good. Smith Title and Closing, Broadway and Randall in Elk City. Outstanding opening, exceptional closing.
Welcome back. It's still halftime. The Elk City Elks lead 16-6 over the Hilldale Hornets. Class 4A quarterfinal action. It's that time. It's everybody's favorite time. It's time to tell us where you're at, where you're watching, who you're watching with. I've got some already lined up here on my phone. Our man Van Storm is watching with the children in Oklahoma City. Also, Jenna Red. How about this? Jenna Red is at the game, the Sealing Hollis game, but also watching the Big Elks on her phone. So we've got a nice little update there from Hollis Sealing. Also, the Wilson House. We didn't get to them last week. Sean's darling wife, Regina.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember how that went. All the Wilsons. Levi, McKenna, and also, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
All those grandchildren. It's a big, longer list than it used to be.
I know.
But they're watching. Also, I know there's a good group at the Elks Lodge that's watching. And, of course, the Garage Gang out is also watching. Aunt Cheryl's watching. The Garage Gang's watching. That's what I got. What else you got?
Okay. How much time we got left on the halftime clock? Because we're going to need every second of it. Let's go here. Go Big Elks. Good luck, Cooper Garbarino. Proud of you, Barry and Joe Ellen Coert from Muleshoe, Texas. Good luck, guys, from Derek Sizemore in Ardmore.
All right.
Got a crew in Baton Rouge cheering on Coop Diggity in the Big Elks. Let's go. And we got a picture here, too. They're putting up the antlers with their hands.
I love it.
That's cool.
Coach Dustin Christian is watching. Riley as well. Riley was a big part of the fantastic season for the 7th grade Elks this year. So glad they're tuning in watching.
Go Big Elks. Go Garbarino from Farmington, New Mexico. We got Terry Kai watching from Wagner, Oklahoma. Go Big Elks and go Sammy. Bruce and Jennifer Holly watching Austin Jones from Red River, New Mexico. We got Amara Shepard watching from Clinton, Iowa. Go Big Elks. And I got to go to the next page.
J Mac watching from the RV at the north end of the stadium.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
We got Chipper Skelton tuning on in. Go Big Elks, cheering hard for number 22, Cooper Garbarino from Islid in Uptown, New Orleans. Rodney Blackman watching from West Union, West Virginia. Go Big Elks, Chandler Basgall.
Yeah, you got that right the other day.
I think I did. Working in Midland, Texas. The guys at the Elk City Fire Department are watching on Big Elk TV. Very cool. Thanks, guys. Go Big Elks, 71 degrees and cozy thanks to Paragon TV and, of course, Big Elk TV. The Ford family is cheering loud. We got the House Wilson watching from home in Elk City, as you mentioned. We got an individual watching from Moore, Oklahoma, and that's all it says. Oh, no, we got it right. Eddie and Shauna Peck and the Lod, L-O-D, watching from Moore. We have Greg Martinez watching Caden Holder and the Big Elks from North Dakota. You know what we need to do is have a map and put a pin in everyone that's we get read off here.
See, now you're thinking.
Go Big Elks, Doug Sy and June watching from Elk City. We love the fair catch at the 1. That's from Shelton and Jennifer Hagerman watching from the Cozy House in Elk City. By the way, shout out to Jennifer Hagerman and Marathon Petroleum, who donated the $66,000 to the Elk City School District to go towards the purchase of a new bus. That happened earlier this week. That was very cool. Kevin Gonzalez watching Big Elks from North Dakota. Next page. Half the Harmons and Darlings are watching from Elk City. The other half are watching from the mountains in Colorado. Class of 99 is the best.
Christy's right again. 2 weeks in a row she's right. Stephen Ferguson hanging out in Ardmore watching on computer.
Daryl Price from Abilene, Texas, where it's 38 degrees. Well, it's warmer there than it is here. Darren Skelton, he's right over there in Merritt, Oklahoma. We have Senora Simon and family watching from home. Great job, announcers. Thank you. Appreciate that. Joel Wynn and Mike Bauden watching from Connecticut. Here's another one for the map. Randy Brooks cheering on the Big Elks from Nocona, Texas.
No, wait a minute. Joel and Mike are in Connecticut? Well, that sounds like trouble to me. Anyway, go ahead.
With the weather or just those two?
Just those two together in Connecticut.
Okay. RJ in Lake Kiowa, Texas. Go Big Elks. Daniel Garbarino Sr. watching Big Elk football from the West Bank in New Orleans. Go number 22, Cooper. Kinley and Linda Hall watching from Edmond. Downtown Sunny Point, America. That's all it says. Where's Sunny Point, America?
That's probably Monty Tucker.
It is Monty Tucker.
Yeah.
One of the regulars. Brett Kennedy and Maylee are watching. Go Big Elks. Bonnie and Ryan Glasgow watching from the warm living room with Keith and Chelsea Glasgow in the stands. Go Big Elks. Next page. Man, and they keep on coming here.
It's awesome.
And the band played on. And we're going to have to, hopefully this score gets inflated. We'll have to come back to this. Cy and Doug Freeman with June Wright watching from Warm TV Room.
Well, Sid got
right
in
here
there twice.
That's right. Big Elk TV is a blessing on a night like this. Grandpa John, just interrupt me when you need to go. Grandpa Johnson watching from Gaylord, Michigan. Go Cold, number 3.
Hey. Before we get, I don't know if you got there yet, but I saw a guy at lunch the other day, this week, that has been watching Gaylord Roper. He says he watches us each and every week. I saw Gaylord at lunch the other day. So hello to Gaylord and Rhonda Roper. Thank you for watching, and go Big Elks.
Former superintendent. We have the Stouts watching from a warm pool house. Monty Sr. and Monty Jr. watching from home. Bleed brown and white, boys. Go Big Elks. Pastor Kevin and Kendra watching from Elk City. Oh, and we got a birthday shout out to you, my man Skinny here. Happy birthday. Ricky, Don, and Lisa Nagel.
Oh, thank you. All right, Daniel's got Coach
Go
Maynard.
for it.
Go to this side. Coach, give me your first half thoughts. What are you thinking?
Well, I think we're playing hard. I think we're getting after it. I think, obviously they're really good. There's a couple of times where we're one block or just a half second longer or more from really making a big one. Obviously ain't no turkeys at this point, so we're going to have to get after it and continue to do what we're doing and, not shoot ourselves in the foot. But right now I'm proud of how we're playing and just keep playing hard.
Good luck, Coach. Go get them.
Thank you to Coach Maynard and Daniel Garbarino. Also, Mike Clinton and Angie watching in the garage. Bobby Martin, the Bob, is watching. And Dakota Miller. All the Millers, he and his wife, 3 kids. Sarah Eagles rooting on the Big Elks from the Miller household tonight.
Great. Andy and Ray Macias watching here in Elk City. Chad Smithy and Broken Arrow, you guys do a really good job. Thank you very much. Watching from Grove, Jerry Tawney. Brant Garrison family in Bartlesville, Oklahoma. McKenna, Maylee, Eden, and Bria Brooks.
There you go.
Watching at home.
I knew if I started naming one of them, I'd forget the other, and that just didn't seem like a good idea.
Philip and Kendall O'Donnell watching from Elk City. Go Big Elks. And on to the next page. The Doves watching from the house. Go Big Elks. And happy birthday, Skinny.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, happy birthday, Skinny.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
There's only one gift you want, right?
The one gift, and that is this score to hold up for the rest of the 24 minutes in the second half.
The Robertson are watching in Arkansas City, Kansas. Mark Smith, warm and watching Big Elk TV. Elk City graduate, 1993. Come on, Elks, take state. You have a great defense and a really good offense soon. No name with that one, but it's pretty cool. Creed Taylor's watching from Amarillo, Texas.
We got a little snow starting to fall.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That wasn't in the forecast,
now
was it?
Coach Maynard is happy.
Look, there's some big flakes over there. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Are you serious, Clark?
I'm serious, Clark.
Hey, you got a shout out from Dustin Christian. Shout out to the sideline reporter braving the elements.
Thank you so much.
I'm checking the mesonet. I just don't believe you.
Oh, no, bro. It's snowing. No doubt.
Sure is.
Oh, thanks for opening your window
sure
for the
is.
first time.
It sure is. I can see that.
You notice we took off our hoodies. All right. We'll get to those texts hopefully later throughout the broadcast, but we really do appreciate everybody texting on in, chiming on in. It's really an eye-opener, isn't it, Skinny?
Oh, there's no doubt. You realize that, my goodness, there are people watching this thing from everywhere.
And listening, so we really have to watch what we say.
No, we always
I think we're on at some party in Baton Rouge as well.
Well, the picture looked like it.
Oh, they sent a picture.
Yeah,
that's not good.
They all had horns up, I think.
That's not good. They're elk antlers, bro.
Elk antlers. Yeah, I love it.
I didn't know there was parties at Baton Rouge.
Yeah, more than ever right now, actually.
I bet so. It smells of corn dogs and whiskey.
Corn dogs and whiskey.
All right, we're just about ready to go here. Third quarter of the Class 4A quarterfinals. The Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets by a score of 16-6. Elk City will receive the third quarter kick. The Elks will be headed right to left on your radio dial here in the second half.
Once again, thanks to TTS for the heater down there and Darren Patton for getting the individual heaters. They're really warm when you stand under them.
I'll tell my wife to relay the message. She's kind of the brains and operations over there.
Oh, Vincent listening. He may not be happy about that. All right, Cash Schiller's got the ball on the tee. It's a neon green tee. I don't know if I've ever seen one quite like that. He's got the finger in the air. He's got toe to leather, and he boots it high. End over end kick. Drives Garbarino back to the 5. Cooper sprints toward the sideline, cuts it up at the 20, runs over a man to the 25. Hanging on for dear life was Rowland. Gage Rowland. I think he took more of that shot than what he laid to Cooper. The Elks start out 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
All right, back to business. I think now's a good time to have one of those long, sustained drives that we talked about in the pregame. 6 minute plus, maybe longer, punching in for 6. That really puts the pressure on the visiting Hornets.
Patton in the slot left. Outside of him as a receiver is Holder. 1st and 10 Elks at the 25-yard line. Levy jumps. I think he forgot to turn it on.
I don't think he turned it on.
Yeah, he didn't turn it on.
We didn't want to hear it anyways.
He knows where it is. He can't reach it. I turned it on for him before the game. Morris
family watching from Sayre, so that's not a good sign for you there, Jared, on that quip about TTS. So a false start on the Elks drives them back to their own 20. 1st and 15, first play of the third quarter. Elk City leads 16-6. Winner will play in the state semifinals next week. Loser hits the basketball floor. Austin Jones under center. Snap, turn, hand off to Owens. Levy trying to break a tackle. He's just ripped down by big Wyatt Branchcombe at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 15. Branchcombe, forehand, are the defensive ends in the 3-4. Really kind of a 5-2 as they walk the linebackers up. Branscombe's in the middle. Sorry, Evan Keefe in forehand. Kind of the tackles in the ends are Rowland and also Eric Virgil. 2nd and 15, Elks at their own 20. In motion is Patton. Going to run the trap play back to Patton at the 20, to the 25. But he's going to be dragged down at about the 30, and a flag flies late. That could be a face mask penalty. We'll check it.
Did the back judge throw that? I think he did.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
That's a big call.
10-yard gain. They're pointing Hilldale's way. Even if it's a 5-yard variety, that's a first down.
Personal foul, face mask, number 19 on defense. 15 yards, results in a first down.
When did we start calling the numbers out there?
I've never heard it happen in high school football before tonight.
Okay.
So it's a 10-yard gain for Patton. Actually give him 11 to the 31, and then tack on 15 yards on the personal foul face masks. And the Elks have a first down and 10 at their own 46, minute into the third quarter. Elk City leads 16-6, and Jordan and Corbin are having some fun down in front of us.
The horns are blowing.
Jones looking over at the sideline. He's got the play. Under center. Sends Garbarino in motion, turns, hands it off to Owens. Owens bursts through a hole, but then he's grabbed and slung down. Branchcombe again. And also, I think that was Jace Walker.
11.
Okay. 11 is Jenkins. Gain of 2. Man, it looked like there was more room to roam there for Levy, but instead, 2 yards on first down.
I credit Hilldale. After that first couple drives for Elk City, they figured out how to tackle him.
Big dudes are dragging him down, man.
I know.
You don't see that very often.
Not really.
2nd and 8 for the Elks at their own 48. Austin Jones under center, sends Patton in motion, hands it to him on the jet sweep. He cuts it up, and he dances back outside into the waiting arms of Eric Virgil, who makes the tackle right at the midfield stripe. Gain of 2 brings up a 3rd and about 5.5 for the Elks.
Isn't it cool to look down in that huddle and see all that breath going up in the air? It's so cool.
It's football at its finest.
3rd and a long 5, call it 6 for the Elks at midfield. In motion is Garbarino, running the option right. Jones cuts it up, looking for a hole, and he's going to be hammered by Jenkins. Branscombe caught him low. Jenkins drove him in the ground after a 2-yard gain to the Hilldale 48. Brings up 4th and about 4 for the Elks. Decision time here for Coach Maynard. Looks like he's going to go for it. Holder checks in with the play. 15 on the play clock as the Elks are in the huddle. They break it with 10. Sprint to the line of scrimmage. 4th and 4. Jones sends Patton in motion. Turns, hands it off to Owens. Owens trying to dig for the first down. He doesn't get it. He gained a yard. He was tackled by Alonzo Perez at the 47, and the Elks turn it over on downs. In the opening possession of the 3rd quarter, they do take 3:17 off the clock, but great field position for Hilldale at their own 47.
It looked like he had it momentarily, and did he make that tackle from the seat of his pants?
The corner came and made the tackle from the outside. So first and 10 Hilldale at the 47. Snap back, handoff. Virgil bursts through a hole on the right. He's got some room at the 50. 45, Matthew Thompson makes the tackle at the 40.
That mesh play is tough right there.
It is.
13 yards and a first down for Eric Virgil, over 5,000 for his career. Hilldale wants to go fast. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap back. David has it. Into the middle is Virgil. Breaks through a hole, and he's going to be knocked off his feet about the 34-yard line. Gain of 6 brings up 2nd and 4. Moyer a little slow to get up. Now he's back on the other side of the line of scrimmage. Jace Walker checks in at the running back spot for Eric Virgil here in the Hilldale lineup. 2nd down, 4 Hornets at the Elk City 34. Snap, handoff. Walker hit at the line of scrimmage and thrown to the ground. Blake Red, Braxton Robertson make the tackle for no gain. Brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Hilldale Hornets.
And finally, somebody other than Virgil with the carry. Big Elks take advantage of it, but that's, I mean, even if he got it, the Big Elks are going to be right there to carry whoever the ball carrier was. That was a great way to shed your block up front for the Big Elk defensive line.
3rd down and 4 for Hilldale at the Elk City 34. 2 receivers and an H-back left, a receiver to the right. Snap, play action, pressure in the flat. One-handed grab by Mason Pickering. He's going to spin down near the first down. I think he's just shy of the 30, or did they give him the 30? They gave him the 30. It's 4 yards and a 1st and 10 for Hilldale, maybe. Yes, they give him the first down at the 30. Great one-handed grab there by Pickering. 1st and 10 Hilldale at the 30-yard line of the Elks. Snap back. It's going to be a play-action miscommunication. David trying to dance to the outside. He's going to be kind of hog-tied at the 30-yard line. No gain as he turned left. Jace Walker went to the right.
On the last play, Pickering to the flat there, that's a safety read. So your safety should be reading that tight end each time. And it was, I think, Garbarino, his eyes got the best of him.
Virgil back in there at the running back spot. 2nd and 10 Hilldale at the Elk City 30. Snap, handoff. Virgil breaks it to the outside. We got a flag flies on a 4-yard gain. Nice open field tackle there by Cooper Patton. But a flag right at the line of scrimmage. Let's check the call here.
Holding on the offense, number 53, 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
10-yard penalty. The flag's laying. at the 32-yard line. The ball is marked at the 40.
So it's second down, isn't it? Not replay first down.
Yeah, second down. 2nd and 20, so they mark off exactly 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and 20 for Hilldale back at the Elk City 40. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left, snack back. David looking in the flat. Pressured now. He's going to throw a pass down the far sideline. Hilldale's got guys downfield.
Yeah, that's the call.
Here's the question. Nobody was there.
So it was a screen set up to 1, and 1 wasn't. I mean, we had it played perfectly.
Ineligible receiver downfield on the offense. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
He got outside the pocket, and the ball did get to the line of scrimmage, so I guess that's why there's no intentional grounding, because there was nobody there.
Yeah, watching on the State Farm replay, yeah, you're right, Daniel. They read that perfectly. They dropped back, looking for it, wasn't there. Made all kind of bad things happen for the Hornets.
6:51 left on the 3rd quarter clock. Hilldale has a 3rd down and 20 at the Elk City 40. The Elks lead 16-6. That was your halftime score. 2-by-2 formation with 2 receivers split to each side. Pistol look. David drops straight back, steps up in the pocket, now dances over to the left, looks down the field, throws a pass, and it is going to be incomplete over the head of Hayden Pickering, out of bounds. Let's see what Hilldale wants to do here with a 4th and 20 at the Elk City 40.
I think they've already made that decision.
Alonzo Perez is in there. He's been the punter all night and looks like he's going to try to pin the Elks deep. Cole Bowie stands at the Elk City 10. Right in front of him is Garbarino at about the 17. Ball will be snapped from the 40, and Perez will hit toe to leather right about the midfield stride. Snap back, good snap. End over end kick. Bowie lets it go, and he faked everybody out. As Cole rolled over to the near side, calling fair catch. The ball was on the far sideline into the end zone, a touchback, and the Elk City defense holds after a short field when the Hilldale defense got a 4th down stop.
Faked everybody, including me.
I was faked out, too.
I was looking right at him, thinking he might have some space here.
6:37 to play in the 3rd quarter. The Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets 16-6. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 20.
I think the message from Coach Maynard and Coach Fisher right there was no mental penalties, no mental mistakes.
Hopper checks into the lineup as a tight end. He's going to be on the left side of the formation. Offset eye. Garbarino and Owens back there. Jones takes the snap, hands it off to Garbarino. Little trap play at the 25, tries to bounce it to the outside. Nice open field tackle by Lamari and Burton. A gain of about 5 for Garbarino.
And how many times are we right there? That little trip up slowed him down.
Cooper checked out.
A little cramp.
Okay.
I don't know how you cramp up when it's 24 degrees and snowing, but he is.
Thompson checks into the lineup, H-back left. 2nd down and 5 for the Elks at their own 25. Hopper tied in left to right. Snap. Jones runs the option. He's going to be hemmed up now. He makes a nice cut up the field.
Good job holding on to the ball, man. They almost got it out.
Virgil read that one perfectly on kind of the counter option. Austin got what he could to the 27-yard line. Brings up a 3rd down and 3 for the Elks. With 5:40 to play in the 3rd quarter, 16-6, Elk City leads Hilldale. Big play here. Offset eye. Thompson back there this time in the backfield. In motion is Patton. Snap, turn, hand off to Owens. Levy barrels forward. He's near the 1st down. I don't think he got it.
Oh, man.
The ball landed on Cooper Patton as he went down, and it never got to the 30. It is 4th down and 3 inches maybe. The Elks are staying out there.
I mean, it is the nose of the foot. It's so close.
The Elks were able to draw Hilldale offsides twice in the first half for penalties. 4th and a yard, way less. And they burst through the line as Branchcombe fell for the motion.
Dead ball foul. Encroachment, number 44 on the defense. 5 yards, results in the first down.
So Branchcombe.
That's huge.
Yes, it is. He burst through. It's a first down. They gave the Elks about 5 yards and 3 inches as the nose of the football is touching the 35. First and 10 Elks at their own 35. 4:35 clock runs in the third quarter. Elk City leads Hilldale 16-6. Flex bone formation. In motion left to right is Garbarino. Jones turns. He's going to run the trap play back to Patton. Patton cuts it up at the 40. Nice tackle from the inside by Forehand. So once again, that play looked like it might be destined for the end zone. Great hustle by the defensive lineman there, Mason Forehand, 6'2", 225, a sophomore. But it's a gain of 8 on first down for the Elks out to the 43.
Back to what I was saying earlier, we're so close from busting those big ones that we've seen almost once a game. You just feel like it's about to happen. We're about to bust that big one if we can just get away from that one more tackle.
Holder brings the play in with 10 seconds on the play clock as the Elks break the huddle. Second down and 2 at their own 43. Jones under center. Steps straight back. Throws a long pass down the near sideline. Holder's there. He cannot make the catch. Good coverage by Lamari and Burton. Incomplete. Brings up a third down and 2.
He was pleading for a flag. I don't think it was even catchable. You like the call?
Oh, absolutely.
Second and short, taking a shot, sure.
Good call. And a good no call by the back judge.
Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect coverage, I thought, from Burton. Third down and 2, Elks at their own 43. Turn, handoff Owens. Levy bursts through a hole. He's got the first down at the 45, down to the 47-yard line. Needed 2, got about 4, and it's another Moxie Realty first down for the Elk City Elks. 3.5 left on the third quarter clock. 16-6, Elk City leads Hilldale. Owens is going to check out of the lineup, replaced by Jaden Wynn. Cole Bowie's got the play.
Levy just needed a drink.
20 carries, 78 yards for Levy Owens. First and 10 Elks at their own 47. Jones spins Patton in motion right to left. Austin, quick pass out in the flat. Bowie dropped it.
Get on it.
Bowie was running before he caught it. Incomplete, second and 10.
I just wonder how the weather conditions affect how that ball feels.
Well, he let the ball get right to his shoulder pads. You could hear it down here. It bounced right off his chest plate.
He had some room to operate down the near sideline with a catch. Instead, second down and 10 for the Elks at their own 47. Win the fullback. Jones in the flex bone under center. Sends Garbarino in motion left to right. Turn. He's going to run the trap play back to Patton. Cooper looking for a hole. Dances outside. He's going to be grabbed by Eric Virgil, who beat the block inside, then stepped back outside to knock Patton off his feet after a gain of only about a yard to the 48. Brings up a third down. Well, they give him the 49. So give him 2 yards. It'll bring up third down.
Dana, with your angle,
At 8.5.
Are those blocks sealed up? Is he not seeing it? He just needs to trust?
No, we're not. Our offensive line is not used to having to hold a block that long with that play.
Yeah.
I mean, initially it's there, right? And then it closes so fast.
It's third and about 8.5. The Elks play clock down to 2. They snap it with 1. Jones drops back, looks, rolls left. He's going to have a little bit of room to run at the 50. Dances forward. Where did he step out of bounds? He crossed midfield out at the 48 of Hilldale. Actually, they mark him about the 47. Fourth and 4, or 4th and 5, and the Elks bring on the punting unit.
$14's in.
Yeah, Webb is there as the upback. We saw him on a fake punt pass last week. Garbarino waiting the snap at his own 39. It's a good snap. Cooper, nice high kick, angles it away from Burton. It's going to land at the 20. Takes kind of a sideways bounce at the 18, and that's where Hilldale takes over. First and 10 at their own 18-yard line with 1:55 left in the third quarter. Elk City clinging to a 16-6 lead. Nobody's tallied here so far in the second half, Jared.
Well, if we got to win with the defense, that's what we got to do. I like our defense has been stout all season long. And I've always talked about trust and Coach Maynard that he has in his defense. And if we have to bend, don't break, we've done that a lot this season too. So let's go. Let's get at it.
1st and 10, Hilldale at their own 18-yard line. Pistol formation. David in the shotgun. Claps his hands. Turns. Hands it off to Virgil. Virgil trying to slip a tackle. Does. Bounces to the outside. Patton's right there. Rides him out of bounds right near the line of scrimmage. Good play by Cooper Patton out in the open field. I think they might give him a yard to the 19. 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, it's about the only way you can stop him is just to make him go east-west and not north-south because he's such a strong guy. So just carry him out of bounds. Give up what you can or let him get what he can get. That's just a yard in that case.
2nd and 9 for the Hornets of Hilldale at the 19-yard line, their own 19. Pickering's going to move from right to left. So 2 receivers to the left, tight end right, receiver right. In motion is Pickering. He will fake the handoff. David has it. The quarterback looking for some room on the left. He's going to be hemmed in. The Ocho makes the play at about the 20. Nice job there on the misdirection from Kanan David. They give him the 22. Now they give him the 21. So a gain of 2, bring up 3rd down and 7 for Hilldale.
Daniel, what's going on in front of you?
Yeah, that was interesting. It was 2 and 7 were going at it right there.
Medina checks out, replaced by Cale Poole. 3rd down and 7 for Hilldale at their own 21. Trying to draw the Elks offside. They don't do it. Sammy Leal bluffs the blitz. David in the pistol, claps his hands, has the ball, looks quick out to the left. Pass is complete at the 25-yard line. A tackle is made near the line to gain, and
they gave it to him.
They gave him the forward.
Hayden Pickering gets 7, and it's a 1st down. I thought that Braxton and Cooper Patton might have made the play short the line to gain. Instead, it's a 1st and 10 for Hilldale with 55 seconds left in the 3rd, 16-6 Elks. The Elk City faithful do not like that spot. Snap, handoff, Virgil looking for a hole, dances inside, gets what he can, crossing the 30 to about the 31-yard line. Gain of 3 on 1st down for the senior running back from Hilldale.
The previous play worked. Did you see the guy streaking down? He pulled 2 guys with him.
2nd and 7, Hilldale at their own 31. David in the shot, or the pistol. In motion is Pickering. He fakes the handoff to him. Up the middle, it's Virgil. Dances through a hole. Nice job submarining in from the outside. Poole knocking Virgil off his feet after a gain of 5 to the 36. Brings up a 3rd down and 2 for Hilldale with 10 seconds left to play in the 3rd quarter. Kanan David in the pistol, takes the snap, hands it off to Virgil up the middle. He squirts through a hole to the 41-yard line. It's a 1st and 10 for Hilldale on what's likely to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. He needed 2, got 5. The officials wind the clock, and that'll do it. Through 3 quarters of play, the Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets by a score of 16-6. Come back for exciting 4th quarter action right here on the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Once in a while, you find a company that operates on excellence. They hire people who are serious about safety and quality. It continues with the equipment they use, dependable, sturdy, safe. Then there's the way the company's run, with clear expectations, high standards, and fairness for employees, and commitment to delivering the very best for customers. Anadarko Dozer and Trucking is one of those companies. Anadarko Dozer is dedicated to excellence. To become one of the crew, visit anadarkodozer.com.
Bobby Joe Cudd started with 1 piece of equipment and 1 small crew in Woodward, Oklahoma back in 1977. Now, that company works across the country and around the world. It's Cudd Energy Services. When the bottom fell out of the oil field in the early 1980s, Cudd stuck it out and kept going. Ever since, when newcomers closed the doors, Cudd kept working. Cudd is still here, doing more than ever to harness the power of our natural resources. Cudd Energy Services, here to stay.
The officials didn't give us the minute, so the first play of the 4th quarter is a 2-yard run by Kanan David from the 41 to the 43 of Hilldale. 2nd down and 8 for the Hornets at their own 43. Just underway 4th quarter, Elk City leads Hilldale 16-6. David in the pistol fakes the jet sweep, hands it off up the middle to Walker. Jace Walker spins out of a tackle at the 47 to the Hilldale 49. 2 yards shy of a first down, brings up 3rd down and 2.
He's a good runner too, man.
3rd and 2 for the Hornets. Their own 49. David, snap, handoff. Walker kind of tripped as he was trying to make his way through a hole. He kept his balance long enough for 3 yards to the Elk City 48, and that's a 1st and 10 for Hilldale. With 11 minutes to play in the 4th quarter, the Elks lead the Hornets 16-6.
This pace is picked up, continuing from the 3rd quarter.
Snap back to David, looks quickly over the middle, throws a long pass down the far sideline. Wide open is Lamarian Burton. Burton is tackled at the 6 by Cooper Garbarino, but it's a gain of 42 on the pass. Garbarino's slow to get up. 1st and goal, Hilldale at the Elk City 6. It's a WTC officials timeout. Thank you to Kathy Corning and Sarah Hirschman at Western Technology Centers. They're educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City. Garbarino saved a touchdown. Now he's going to roll over.
Another
it's a cramp.
Oh, my gosh. Give me a break.
Well, it's better than the alternative.
Oh,
I thought it was re-aggravated his shoulder injury. And
100%.
It's a 7, the gain to the 7. So it was a 41-yard pitch and catch from Kanan David to Lamarian Burton.
Where was he lined up?
Way wide on the right. Garbarino up, walking off the cramp. Hilldale will have it 1st and goal at the Elk City 7. 10:51 left on the 4th quarter clock. The Elks clinging to a 10-point advantage, 16-6. By far the best drive for either side here in the second half, as 16-6 was your halftime score. Virgil back in there at the running back. Branchcombe is a tight end on the left this formation. Double tight set. Pickering the fullback. Under center is David. Turns, hands off to Virgil. Virgil trying to make his way out to the left. He does. He's going to sprint into the end zone. It's a touchdown for Eric Virgil from 7 yards out as Pickering just caved down Cooper Patton. And all of a sudden it's a 1-score game, 16-12 with the extra point pending.
Swing gate. Swing gate.
So Hilldale lines up in the swinging gate. Burton by himself to the right. Play clock just now starting.
Only got 3.
Pickering snaps it to Virgil. Virgil pitches it out, and it's an easy 2-point conversion for Jace Walker. 16-14 now the score. Hilldale down 2 to the Elk City Elks on your Ace Home Center scoreboard with 10:36 left to play here in the 4th quarter. Elk City led 16-0. Hilldale has fought back with the second 2 touchdowns. And right now, both 2-point conversions looming large in this game in the Elks' favor.
Yeah, that's one thing, one positive thing we're looking at. Here's more of that adversity that we've talked about all season long, too, and the Big Oaks have always stood up to it, have always had a response to it, and none bigger than right now.
Thank you to Cud Pressure Control, our friends out at Cud, Colby Kilhofer and the crew, proven experience and trusted results. Also, First National Bank and Trust, the CEO is Sandy Werner, the president David Atkinson. First National Bank, a bank you know and trust. Also, Pedro's Mexican Grill, 902 South Main here in Elk City. Pedro's is the official watch party spot at Big Elk and Paragon TV. John and Monica Beecham there at Pedro's. Everything going Hilldale's way since about the middle of the second quarter. It's 16-14, though. The Elks still lead by 2 with 10:36 to play in the 4th quarter. Cash Schiller puts toe to leather. It's a low one, and nice job there by Jaden Wynn, and he just got grabbed by the face mask going down, no call. It was kind of a squib kick that Jaden Wynn fielded at the 49, got down, So the Elks have great field position, 1st and 10 at their own 49-yard line. With 10:34 left to play here in the fourth quarter, Elk City leads on your Ace Home Center scoreboard 16-14. Did he just grab the top of his helmet?
Looked like under the chin pad.
Under the chin.
Yeah. It was close.
His momentum was going and his head just kind of turned, but the Elks offense needs to find an answer here pretty quick. 1st and 10 from the 49. In motion is Patton. Jet sweep, looking for some room left to right. He's going to just kind of duck his head into the shoulder pads of Jace Walker. It's a gain of 5 yards to the Hilldale 46.
And Logan Trevino was plowing his way up forward. If he was following 76, he well into the first down area.
2 receivers left, 2nd down and 5 Elks. In motion goes Patton. Handoff up the middle, it's Owens. He's stacked up at the line of scrimmage, still trying to power forward, He does end up crossing the 45 to about the 44. So a gain of 2 for Levy. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 3 for the Elks at the Hilldale 44.
Big for 3rd down here.
Give all kinds of credit to Branchcombe, forehand, Evan Keefe. Those guys have done a nice job at the point of attack, not allowing Owens, or at least making every yard he gains awfully tough here tonight. Eastman checks in as a tight end on the right. 3rd down and 3 for the Elks at the Hilldale 44. Jones turns, hands it off to Owens. Owens has got the 1st down across the 40 to about the 39. Tried to keep his balance with a hand on the ground. Couldn't do it. But Levy Owens with a 5-yard gain on 3rd and 3, and it's a Moxie Realty 1st down for the Elks.
Yeah, maybe if he wasn't such a big guy, he would be able to keep himself up. But good job to get what was needed, plus a couple more. That was a big conversion for the Big Elks and a much-needed time.
Moxie Realty 1st down. Amy Robbins and Moxie moving the chains with Moxie. Moxie makes it happen. 1st and 10 Elks at the Hilldale 39. Handoff to Owens. Owens is just slung to the ground by Branchcombe. Lost back to the 40 of a yard. Clock runs with 8:30 left to play in the fourth quarter. Elk City leads Hilldale 16-14. They face a 2nd down and 11 at the Hilldale 40. Jones under center, flex bone formation, sends Garbarino in motion. He turns, hands it off to Owens. Owens makes a little jump cut, stays on top of the pile as he spins down for a gain to the 37-yard line. I don't even know why the guy on this side is. I don't know why he's out there. He had it marked at the 37, and it ends up being back outside the 38.
Yeah.
3rd down and 9 for the Elks at the Hilldale 38. Jones is under center. Sends Patton in motion. He's going to run the trap play to Garbarino. Garbarino dances across the 35 to the 34. 4th down and about 5. Obviously a huge play in this game.
Yeah, no thinking about it. They're going.
4th and 4, call it 5. The Elks have to cross the 30 to the 29. In motion is Patton trying to draw Hilldale off sides. They don't do it. The Elks look at the sideline to run a play. Coach Fisher makes the call. 10 seconds on the play clock. Still plenty of time. Jones under center. Sends Patton in motion. Turns. He's going to run the trap play back to Garbarino. Garbarino's got the 1st down at the 30. Dive into the 25. Great call there on the trap. Garbarino gets 9, and it's a Moxie Realty 1st down for the Elks.
Oh, boy. And great way to follow his blocks that time and cutting it up and not trying to go wide.
They mark it at the 26. 1st and 10 Elks at the Hilldale 26. 6.5 left in the fourth quarter. The Elks lead by 2. Under center is Jones, hands it off to Garbarino. Garbarino grabbed by Gage Rowland as he crosses the 25, maybe the 23. They mark him at the 24. Gain of 2, second down and 8. They'll snap it from the right hash, the near side. Second and 8. Jones under center. In motion is Matthew Thompson. Turns, hands it off to Owens. Owens skips over a tackler. He's going to be stood up at about the 21. They mark him at the 22. Third down and 6 for the Elks. At the Hilldale 22, we've reached the 5.5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Elk City leads Hilldale 16-14. Both teams still have their full complement of 3 Western Technology Center timeouts at their disposal. Jones to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 6 Elks. In motion is Patton, trying to get the Hilldale Hornets to jump offside, and now the Elks are going to take a WTC timeout as the play clock is down to 1. The game clock is at 5:03, and we'll pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is Big Elk Football.
You're listening to Big Elk Sports on 94.3 KXOO Elk City, Cool 94.
Welcome back to Big Elk Stadium, the Class 4A quarterfinal round, and it's a nail-biter here tonight. 16-14, the Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets. 5:03 left to play in the fourth quarter. The Elks will face a 3rd down and 6 from the Hilldale 22. When we come out of this WTC timeout, it'll be the 10th snap of this drive for the Elks. What do you call?
Well, it's quite a conference over here. I mean, you're gonna run 2 plays.
Right.
Right.
So if you think you can get 3 and 3, get after
Well,
it.
our stats guy here calling for that screenplay.
I don't know if I put the ball in the air right now.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah.
I mean,
we just get in a spot where you can catch it at least. And
the problem is one is on the wide side of the field. So if I'm running the trap,
right.
I'm going to run it to the short side, but you don't have much room to gain a lot of yardage.
Here it goes, 3rd and 6 Elks at the Hilldale 22, and it's Garbarino dances outside of the 15 to the 10. He's going to be knocked out of bounds at about the 6. If he wouldn't have stepped out, he was clear down to the 1, but they rule him out at the 6-yard line. But it's a gain of 16 and a Moxie Realty first down for the Elks.
Like I said, run it to the short side.
Same play? Was that the same play?
Yeah, same play that the Elks picked up the 4th and 4. Here they pick up the 3rd and 6. Inside the Big Elk Auto Mall red zone with 4:56 left on the fourth quarter clock, 16-14 Elks. They'll snap it 1st and goal from the Hilldale 6. Riley Boyd sprung Garbarino on the last play. Hand off to Owens. Owens dances outside, puts his shoulder into Perez, but Perez makes the tackle after a 2-yard gain to the 4.
These boys up front, both sides of the ball it is a dog fight up there, man. They are getting after it.
It's probably been the most physical offensive line versus defensive line play I've seen all year.
Now, 66 does have an elk tattoo on his left calf.
Oh, how sweet is that?
I like that a lot.
2nd and goal, Elks from the 4. Jones under center. Sends Patton in motion, turns, and he's going to run the option play. Pitches it out to Patton. Patton has it with one hand, trying to break a tackle of Virgil. He can't get to the end zone as Virgil drug him down from behind at the 1.
Might be at the half-yard line. I don't know where I don't see where this guy's marking this. At the 1.
Marks it at the 1-yard line. Man. So 3rd and goal for the Elks at the Hilldale 1.
You know, we talked about Virgil and his offensive capabilities, but man, that speed on defense.
He's played amazing on defense.
Yeah, he closed on that in a hurry.
The Elks break the huddle sort of with 10. 3rd and goal from the 1. Austin Jones is under center. He's going to quarterback sneak, and he's going to dive into the end zone, and it's going to be a touchdown for the Big Elks. Austin Jones from a yard out, and the Elks lead 22-14 with 3:27 left to play in the fourth quarter. They've got out. Will they continue to go for two?
All you need's one. Right?
13-play, 51-yard drive.
Yeah, all you need's one, but what's our highest probability here?
Is getting,
yeah. I mean, this is where the kicking. I mean,
the kicking has not been 100%.
Watch the play clock here.
Yeah.
Elks break the huddle with 10, going for two to restore a 10-point lead. Austin Jones under center sends Garbarino in motion, hands it to Cooper. Cooper cuts it into the end zone, and he's got the 2-point conversion and a 10-point lead for the Elk City Elks with 3:27 left on the fourth quarter clock.
Oh, this is fun. Look at Trevino.
Trevino's like, I got a hole in my shirt, bro.
I think I'm being held, coach.
That's big. We got to play some D right here.
2:32 on the ground on 54 carries here tonight for the Elk City Elks. And as we've seen all year long, when that offensive line has been challenged, they have met that challenge almost every single time, and they do it there.
Yes, sir.
13 plays, 51 yards, all on the ground, capped off by a 1-yard touchdown dive from Austin Jones. The 2-point conversion is good, and with 3:27 to play in the fourth quarter, the Elk City Elks lead 24-14 over the Hilldale Hornets.
Like you said, 3:27 left to go in this ball game, but Hilldale still has 3 timeouts.
And
this is an eternity.
Offense.
Yes.
High angled kick. It's going to go out of bounds. Kai got too much of that one. Went out of bounds at about the 29-yard line.
I mean, in youth football, and I was a head coach, we were just onsides every time.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's the old boy that was at high school in Arkansas?
Oh, yeah, he every time.
Yeah.
And no punts.
No punts. So Hilldale takes over 1st and 10 at their own 35. Quick update on some other scores. Wagner leads Tuttle 13-10 with 3 minutes to play. Cushing all over Blanchard 42-0. Clinton down a touchdown 14-7 at Poto. Here it's 24-14 Elks. Snap back to David. Looking over the middle. Pump fakes. Now throws a long pass down the far sideline. It is caught. Oh, incomplete.
We got a flag right here near us.
The official on the far sidelines calling it a catch, but it's not going to matter as it's an eligible man downfield against Hilldale. I saw the sign, that's why I know.
Yeah, he motioned it.
Any day now, I'd add. He's waiting for the horns to stop.
Ineligible downfield. On the offense, number 2. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
2 must have been covered up right there.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking because he's kind of the H-back. 5-yard penalty. Yeah, down over here is Grad. Caden Grad covered him up on the line of scrimmage. Not doing it this time, but it's still 1st and 15 for Hilldale back at their own 30. Pistol formation. In motion comes Pickering. Snap back, and before the snap, we've got a false start, I believe.
Yep.
Dead ball foul, false start. Offense number 53, 5 yards. Still first down.
Hilldale shooting a couple of toes off at the wrong time here as they've got it back to their own 25-yard line. 1st down and 20 with 3:19 left in the fourth quarter. The Elks up 10. Pistol formation. In motion is Hayden Pickering right to left. Snap back. Looks, he's going to be pressured. David dances up the middle. He's got a man wide open. Mason Pickering threw it over his head at the Elk City 45. Incomplete. Brings up 2nd and 20.
And Boyer had his ears pinned back, and he was untouched. quarterback stepped up to avoid the rush, but I think that rush forced that overthrow.
Garbarino's trying to explain to Maynard where he was, and Maynard said, "That's your man, though."
Don't care where you were.
That's your man. You got one job, bro.
2nd and 20, pistol formation, kind of loaded to the left. Snap, hand off to Virgil, dances through a hole at the 30. Nice job there in the open field by Patton, ushering him out of bounds after a gain to the 31. He got 6, bringing up 3rd down and 14 for Hilldale. 3:07 left in the fourth quarter. The Elks lead 24-14. Obvious 4-down territory here for the Hornets, I would imagine. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Snap. David pressured up the middle, dances to his left, throws a long pass. Patton's there, and he ran into the official. It would have been an interception for Cooper Patton, I think, and he ran right over the back judge. Luckily, Pickering wasn't able to come up with it. Incomplete. It's 4th and 14.
That was a pick right there, man.
Yep, he had a beat on it. Let's go to the replay.
He dusted off his back for him.
Man, he laid there. It kind of scared me.
Well, I thought he hit his head.
Yeah, I was afraid he hit the back of his head.
In all seriousness, because that's a hard turf right now.
Tim Ott, the back judge. Glad to see that he's okay.
He's all right. He's holding his shoulder now a little bit.
I think Newcastle. I think Hilldale.
And Patton immediately looked at his coach. He's like, okay, that was not my fault.
Hilldale's going to call their first WTC timeout.
Hey, we need to tell them to stop blowing the horns. That is I think that's a problem with the OSSAA, isn't it? During the plays?
It's like the band playing, I think.
It's a mechanical device, though.
Has it been brought up? Down?
I thought I saw someone looking over and saying stop.
They can't blow the horns during the play. In between plays, it's fine, but not during the play.
Right, it's like band playing with yeah.
It's Western Technology Center timeout. Kathy Corning, Sarah Hirschman, WTC is educating people for success. Campuses in Burns Flat, Hobart, Sayre, Weatherford, and Elk City. It's like Sealing leads Hollis 24-14 headed to the fourth quarter.
All right, boys, this is a big play right here. We got the old swing and gate formation once again.
Swing and gate, 4th down and 14 for Hilldale at their own 31. Virgil waits the snap. He's got it. He rolls right. He throws a long pass down the far sideline. Burton's got it, and he's gone. 30, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown for Hilldale on 4th and 14 from their own 31. Eric Virgil, the superstar running back, found Lamarian Burton for 69 yards. Matthew Thompson thought he had pretty good coverage, but a perfect ball, and all of a sudden, Hilldale's not done.
He just let him. Yeah, threw him open.
24-20, the Elks lead by 4 with the extra point pending. Cash Schiller on to attempt that extra point. Hilldale's got about 100 guys on the field. Play clock still hadn't started, though. Now Schiller's going to throw the tee to the sideline, and Hilldale may be going to go for 2 as the play clock was asked to be started a couple of times, and now it does. Same formation on this swing and gate. Virgil now motions for a couple of more offensive linemen to come into the middle of the field. He's just going to sneak it up the middle, and he's going to be tackled short.
I don't know.
Short of the line to gain, short of the goal line. Eric Virgil tackled short. Now some officials gathering, and now we have a unsportsmanlike penalty flag thrown.
44 needs to get kicked out of the game.
Toward the Hilldale sideline. Wyatt Branchcombe.
The ball was not across the goal line when his knee was down. I'm on it. He reached out after. No.
The officials.
If they give him a score.
The officials talking it over. See, here's what's amazing. The back judge is saying he reached it in. The line judge is saying, but his knee was on the ground. You can see him making the motions.
Right. Are they just going to talk to it? Was a flag flown?
The flag was thrown after the play. The officials discuss it.
He said no.
The try is no good. Now here comes the penalty.
The extra point try is no good. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct on number 2 on the offense, be 15 yards assessed on the kickoff.
So they throw the penalty against Mason Pickering. I was like you, Daniel. I thought 44 was the one that was the culprit.
They could have called it on either one of them.
So with 2:53 left on the fourth quarter clock.
Can I go on the field and get the ball off?
Yes, the Elk City Elks lead 24-20 over Hilldale. 2:53 left in the fourth. Hilldale will have to kick off from their own 25-yard line. 2 timeouts left for Hilldale.
We got our hands team out there.
Hands team is on the field for the Elks. Hilldale with 2 timeouts. If you can recover an onside kick and get maybe, 1 first down? Maybe 2. This game would be on ice. Cash Schiller to kick. Bowie standing back at the Elks 35. See what he does. Onside kick. The ball does not go 10 yards yet as it rolls out of bounds. Now the Elks get on it as Caden Holder covers it at about the 34. Once he saw there was nobody, he wasn't in danger, he just fell on it, not wanting it to wobble some different way. And the Elks
about a half a yard from going 10 yards, and that would have been a little tricky and scary.
I think that's why he just went ahead when he looked up, nobody was there.
Just fall on it.
I mean, that's a horrific spot.
What are we doing
to
with
start
the spot?
at the 35?
Because that's not where.
The spots are suspect, in my opinion.
He covered it clearly inside the 35.
Yes, he did.
But it starts 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line of Hilldale. 2:53 left. Hilldale with 2 timeouts. The Elks up 4. 1 first down will go a long way to icing it. Jones under center. Austin will turn. Hand off to Owens. Owens run through one of his own guys into the 30. Spins forward. Dives short of the first down to about the 27-yard line. Holden Dixon adjusting his knee brace back there. They mark him about the 27. So 2nd down and 2.
Coach Maynard telling Levy to keep two hands on the ball, 2 arms, and Levy said, "I'm good. I got a lot of carries. I'm good."
I'm liking the idea of giving it to him.
Heck yeah.
Just like we started the game.
Heck yeah.
Keep feeding him.
No timeout called. The Elks have a 2nd and 2 at the Hilldale 27. Jones, before he can make take the snap, false start, I believe, against the Elks.
Dead ball foul. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Still.
So now it's 2nd down and 7 for the Elks, back at the Hilldale 32. Penalty was blown with the clock running, so the clock starts now. The Elks need to realize that and run another 25 seconds off. Under 2 minutes to play. 2nd and 7, Elk City. Jones gets the 5 yards back as Wyatt Branchcombe comes across.
Dead ball foul, encroachment on the defense. 5 yards, remains 2nd down.
And we're back, folks. Same place we started.
All that happened there was just a few extra seconds ticked off the clock.
Yeah, let it run.
Wait. Tell them to hold on. Hold on.
40 seconds on the play clock.
They're not even looking.
Well, see, now they're going to have to stand there. They're going to have to be in the stance for 30 seconds. It's hard ask on the offensive line. Play clock was reset to 40. Game clock down to 1:30 with 20 seconds on the play clock. The Elks can snap this one at 1:10.
I think Coach is going to call a timeout here.
He's going to let it run down to 1. Yep, now Jones settles under center. In motion is Garbarino, and we do have a WTC timeout called by head coach Zach Maynard. I think they went ahead and tried that little motion with Cooper just to see in case Hilldale wanted to jump one more time.
Why wouldn't Hilldale use a timeout there?
I have no earthly idea.
They got 2 left. You can't take them home.
The Elks were called for that false start with 2:27 on the clock.
Yeah, that's the funny thing. And then
and it was going to be 2nd and 7. Then Hilldale jumps, and then another 40 seconds is run off the clock. So we're down to 1:14 left to play in the 4th. The Elk City Elks lead 24-20. And they'll have 2nd down and 2 at the Hilldale 27.
I mean, a first down, and that's it.
It's
even
awful
with 2
close.
timeouts, right? So 40-40, 2 timeouts.
Yeah, it's for sure over.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, 2 snaps.
Yeah, because you can still take a knee on 3rd down. You might have to snap it
on 4th.
Maybe
run around a little bit.
Real quick, it's gone final in Tuttle. Wagner's won that one 13-10. They advance to the semifinal. Cushing all over Blanchard 42-7 in the 4th. Clinton's jump ahead of Poto 21-14.
Here it's 24-20 Elks, 2nd down and 2 at the Hilldale 27. Jones turns, hands off to Owens. Owens barrels through a tackler, but he's going to be knocked down short of the line to gain at the 26. Hilldale calls their 2nd WTC timeout of the half. With 1:08 left, it'll be 3rd and a yard. Now, a first down for sure, doesn't it?
All right, get your votes in. What do we do?
28 for 99 for Levy.
What? I know my vote.
What do you mean, on this play?
Well, what do you do? Well, I like Owens. Like I said at the start of this drive, keep feeding the young man the way you started the game. He's a yard away from 100. He needs a yard to seal this game.
I would run away from 44, whatever we do. Find 44, go the other way. I mean, really,
being told
Austin on the sneak right here. You got 2 plays.
Yeah.
You got 2 plays.
I run Austin on the sneak.
Austin on the sneak right here. Just pick a side and roll.
Yeah, and hope that 44 slants the other way.
Yeah, he needs to go the other way.
Exactly right. 1:08 left, 24-20. The Elk City Elks lead the Hilldale Hornets. We might see a hard count for sure.
So 44 is going to line up over the ball.
Yeah,
he's not going.
That's what Kate was telling us. Yeah.
Here we go. 3rd and a yard for the Elks. First down wins the game. Jones under center. He's going to run the quarterback sneak, and he's going to be pushed forward, and it's going to be a Moxie Realty first down for the Elk City Elks. And that will all but seal a quarterfinal victory over Hilldale.
Man, that's an awful spot again, but still, he got it. He spotted half a yard back from where the side yards had it.
I'm telling you, the guy on our side hadn't got to get many spots. It's been the guy on the other side, no matter where the play was.
I've seen him put the ball down, and then it's moved.
Yeah. Play clock at 13, game clock at 45. 1 knee away from the 2nd straight semifinals for the Elk City Elks. Jones hits the right knee, and it looks like Hilldale's head coach David Blevins is going to let the clock run with 25. Okay, now it's time for that stat. The Elk City Elks have never lost a home quarterfinal playoff game.
Thank you for waiting till the end for that.
And
they truly appreciate it.
And they still haven't. As the Elk City Elks, the clock's hit 3 zeros. They defeat the Hilldale Hornets by a score of 24-20 to move to the Class 4A semifinals, where it looks like Cushing will be the opponent a rematch of last year's first round Class 4A playoff game. We'll take a break. We'll come back, have some gas analysis, some gas stats, and wrap it up here from Big Elk Stadium on a cold November night. The Elks had just enough. 24-20 over Hilldale. This is Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Whether your electric needs are for a small home, remodel, or even a multi-million-dollar facility, there's no job Culver Electric can't handle. Since 2004, Brandon and Jill Culver have strived to bring top-notch service to all of central and western Oklahoma. Residential, commercial, and industrial jobs performed by knowledgeable, friendly staff. Culver is a business built on Christian values, hard work, and outstanding quality. Call 580-243-5846 for your electric needs. Culver Electric, keeping the lights on.
Main Street Coffee and Cafe in downtown Elk City is a great place to drink coffee with friends and family. With their awesome specialty coffees and drinks like frappes, cappuccinos, chai teas, and more, both hot and cold. Try their delicious soup and sandwiches and incredible edible cheesecakes and desserts. Plus, they have specialty gifts and a wide selection of coffee flavorings. With the area's most interesting decor and meeting rooms, Main Street Coffee is the best place to be. You'll find the most personal service every day at Main Street Coffee and Cafe right on the corner of Main and Broadway, downtown Elk City, and find them on Facebook.
As your ag financial partner, agriculture is a big part of what we do. And with today's economy, it takes big planning and the right equipment. That's where we come in. Whether you're expanding, have equipment needs, or just need day-to-day operational capital, we're here for you to keep your operation growing.
They're your neighbors and your friends, and they're right here with you. First National Bank and Trust of Elk City and Sayre. Member FDIC. Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew.
Quentin Nichols is from Elk City, a graduate of Elk City. You got Chris Coy. He is Elk City born and bred. Ray Haven is from Cheyenne, so he is a Western Oklahoma guy, of course. Kirby McBroom, Elk City guy. Of course, my dad, David Dyson, Elk City. Ed Stewart, who is our sales manager, is from Clinton.
Barbara Dyson Ford has Western Oklahoma's sales crew. Once in a while, you find a company that operates on excellence. They hire people who are serious about safety and quality. It continues with the equipment they use, dependable, sturdy, safe. Then there's the way the company's run, with clear expectations, high standards, and fairness for employees, and commitment to delivering the very best for customers. Anadarko Dozer and Trucking is one of those companies. Anadarko Dozer is dedicated to excellence. To become one of the crew, visit anadarkodozer.com.
This is 100% fresh beef. With 2 slices of melted cheese, pickles, onions, ketchup, and mustard. This is a burger that strongly suggests you take a seat. It marks its territory, leaving behind a graveyard of napkins. And won't be contained by a humble sesame seed bun. This is the Quarter Pounder with cheese.
McDonald's in Weatherford, Clinton, and South Main and Elk City, proudly owned and operated by the Phillips family.
Great Plains Analytical Services salutes all of the young men and women in the Elk City school system, and they urge each of them to apply the philosophy of all gas, no brakes to their academic studies, their fine arts performances, and their athletic contests, and hopes they carry this right on into their adult lives. GAS also sincerely thanks Elk City school board members for their service and the teachers, coaches, and administrators for their leadership. Let's all work together to make Elk City and America great again.
Welcome back to Big Elk Stadium. The Elk City Elks victorious here in the Class 4A quarterfinals, 24-20.
How many yards did Virgil have?
Just a second.
Stand by. 18 carries.
67.
67.
18 carries for 67 yards.
The Elks win 24-20. Go ahead down to Daniel Garbarino. Go ahead, Daniel, with Coach Maynard.
Sorry, we're kind of jacking around.
Yeah, that's all right.
Hey, Coach, so just so you know, Elk City is undefeated at home in the quarterfinals in the history of the school. You're undefeated in the playoffs. You're undefeated in 4A this year. What do you think about this game?
Well, do you know we hadn't lost a home game in 2 years?
I didn't know that.
He's right.
We hadn't lost here in 2 years. Didn't lose here last year, didn't lose here this year. No, we're excited. Obviously you get to Thanksgiving, and now I can officially say it, there are no turkeys after Thanksgiving. And so, next week it'll be an all-out war. and we're excited about that. You know, tonight we once again left some out there, but you know, ultimately, like we've done all year, we've just found a way to do just enough to win, and that, at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
Coach, defensive line, offensive line really stepped up tonight. We don't talk about those guys enough, so you want to talk about them just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, they're the engine to the machine. You know, if they're not there, nothing we do works. And just very excited, very, very proud of those guys. You know, because they were good a year ago, and I think they've just gotten better. And you know, when you say, hey, we're going to run behind 66, 76, and 54, and you know, those guys, and with 26. Man, it's a handful, and then you add in to the quick guys we've got getting the ball, and you know, obviously they've done a heck of a job, the offensive line and the defensive line, keeping the linebackers clean, and you don't slow down or almost stop a running back, a run game like they have, because in my opinion, besides Carl Albert, that's the best offensive and defensive lines we've seen this year, just because they're dudes, and felt like we did everything we wanted to do. Scoreboard didn't show it quite as much as we wanted to, but win's a win.
Win's a win. Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy your practice on Thanksgiving, baby.
That's right.
Let's go.
Hang on just a second.
Yeah. You want me to keep talking?
No.
Nope.
I was looking.
We're tied.
Clinton ties it with a minute left.
Clinton.
14-14. Clinton ties it with a minute left. All right, wow. Daniel, it's time for the GAS post-game analysis. Kind of give us an idea of what you saw tonight from these two teams. I mean, just an absolute war in the trenches.
It's like a tale of two halves, or tale of each quarter in a way, right? I mean, we were pretty dominant the first quarter, kind of slowed down a little bit, and then they gained some momentum there at the end. And then we finished it off. So it's like, man, I just keep thinking, if we can put 4 quarters together, if we can continue to put 4 quarters together one night, and hopefully that night is next week, next Friday, I think, man, we're really good. We got it was a dogfight tonight in the trenches. Our guys, they did very well on the offensive and defensive line. We made plays when we needed to make plays. There's a little bit of miscommunication in our back end on the defense. I think we were running we had a nickel look there on those 2 long plays. That's something newer. We have some new guys in on that. So I think those things can get fixed, and they have to get fixed, because we know Cushing's they're gonna throw the ball 45 times. So I just from a straight analytical standpoint, to be able to hold a running back that's got 5,000 career yards to under 70 yards. Is that right?
I'm double checking. Yeah, 77 yards.
77. So to hold him under.
No. 67.
Yeah, hold him
under
under 70 yards
passing.
on 20-something carries. I mean, that just shows you that everything that we did this week in practice, our coaches had our guys ready. They knew what was coming at them. They knew that if we strung him out on the line of scrimmage, we would have a chance there. So somebody's yelling at me. I don't know who that is. Anyway, I think I'm proud of our guys. I'm proud of everybody. They deserve to be playing. They deserve to be playing the day after Thanksgiving. This dude right here. Look at these
you're getting
big
kind of swarmed.
They're all getting me.
Ask Trevino what happened to his shirt.
Trevino, what happened to your shirt?
I beating this one kid, and he decided to grab my shirt, so he ripped it, and I just keep beating him, I guess.
So now you have to get a new shirt. Or are you going to wear that one?
I'll let you borrow one. I'd probably crop it, but it's a little too cold out, so I'll just go get a new one.
I don't think the crop's a good look for you, but everybody's excited down here, boys.
All right, thank you, Daniel, for the post-game analysis. We'll let you get you can turn your microphone off.
Cooper Patton has no shirt left. It got completely ripped. Oh, okay. I'll turn my mic off.
I'll turn you off. You celebrate with those guys before we get an FCC violation.
Some happy Big Elks right there. But you know what I sense right now?
Little relief.
Well, last year it was, hey, we're going to the semis. This year it's, we're going back to the semis, and now it's time to get the job done.
Yeah, Logan even kind of said that in the pregame interview that you had with him, talking about, we know it's one step at a time. We know we got to to win
but
tonight.
That's not
to
the
move
goal.
On. But it's not the goal. Yeah, it's let's get this one done. Let's do what we did.
Right.
And then the challenge is what it is next week against Cushing. Why don't you do the gas post-game stats, and then we'll step aside and have the players of the game when we come back out of that last break.
Yeah, let's jump into the team stats. Elk City had 18 first downs in the game. They ran it 57 times for 242 yards. That's about 4.2 yards a carry. Only completed 1 out of 5 passes for 5 yards, totaling out 247 yards, 4 yards per play. Did not turn the football over, despite all the flags. I guess the good thing was 0 turnovers. They didn't put themselves in a bad spot by putting the ball on the ground. First downs for Hilldale, they had 11. They rushed it 29 times for 111 yards, 3.8 yards a carry. Threw it 8 times for 14 yards for 160, I can't talk. They threw it 14 times, completed 8 passes for 160 yards, 271 total offense, 6.3 yards per play, turned it over twice, which proved to be costly. Looking at individual stats for the Big Elks, Austin Jones, the quarterback, taking the snaps, threw it 1 time for 5 yards. He completed that 1 time to Levy Owens on that screenplay there in the first half. And rushing, it'll go like this. Levy rushed it for 28 times, just a yard short of the century mark, had 99 yards, 3.5 yards a carry, below his season average. Credit the Hornets there. They kind of really swarmed in on him, pardon the pun, after that first couple of drives. They kind of figured him out, but credit Levy for continuing to gut it out and get a couple of touchdowns too. Let's see here, 14 carries for Cooper Patton for 67 yards, and 7 carries for Austin Jones for 31 yards and a touchdown, 5 carries for Cooper Garbarino, and there were some big carries there. A couple of them I can think of for 28 yards. He averaged about 5.6 yards a carry, and Jaden Wynn had a carry for 7 yards. Alan Perez carried it once for 8 yards. Mentioned the receiving, the defense. We could look at that. Cole Bowie had a tackle. Cooper Patton, I'm just going top to bottom here. Cooper Patton had 5 tackles tonight. The Ocho, Tyler Moyer, 4 tackles. Matthew Thompson had 3, as it looked like Clinton might have got a turnover. Cooper Garbarino, 5 tackles. Kel Poole with 2. Sammy Castro with 5, and Jaden Wynn with 1. And Cole Bowie, he only returned 1 punt, I believe. Is that correct?
1 for 9.
1 for none. Yeah.
9.
9. That's right. He had that 9-yard return. Just really glancing over at Hilldale. Well, the guy everyone wants to know, how do we do against Eric Virgil? His rushing, we held him. He got his 5,000 as a career, but we held him under 100 yards. 18 carries, 67 yards, 3.7 yards a carry. He did have 2 touchdowns. It was his arm that kind of got us there late. He threw it 2 times for 3, threw it 3 times completed 2. One of them, that big long touchdown pass, had 77 yards passed. And Caden David, the quarterback for the Hornets, he threw it 10 times, completed 6 for 83 yards. And again, Elk City wins it. They improve to 11-1 on the season. And they get the big W, 24-20. Big thank you to Gas helping us out with our post-game stats. Aaron.
Step aside, come back. When we do, we'll have the players of the game. Don't really know much about next week just yet. Maybe. We'll see what happens. And maybe even a final from the Clinton game there at Poto. 24-20, the Elks defeat the Hilldale Hornets. This is the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Western Technology Center has been educating high school juniors, seniors, and adults for over 40 years. WTC continues to train Oklahomans for the global workplace. With several programs available, many individuals have been able to find one that best serves their wants and needs, like business development, fire service training, industrial training, dental hygiene, and many other fields of study. With 5 campuses to choose from in Burns Flat, Sayre, Hobart, Weatherford, and Elk City, WTC is closer than you think. Contact the campus nearest you today or visit westtech.edu.
Jake from State Farm. Look, I want that personal price plan, so I'm going to level with you. I've literally never washed Patrick's practice jersey. I'm superstitious.
Jeff, you don't need to get that personal. The State Farm personal price plan simply helps you create an affordable price just for you.
Yo, Jeff, you sure this is clean? Absolutely, Patrick. There you go.
Ugh. That's on me.
For surprisingly great rates and great service, call State Farm agent Daniel Garbarino in Elk City today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
With Sonic's 2 for $5 menu, you get 2 delicious things for only $5.
How will you know which two to choose? Don't ask us. That's a rhetorical question. And everyone knows 2 for $5 is better than 1, which is helpful if you struggle with decision making. The Sonic 2 for $5 menu.
Sonic.
Say you're looking for the perfect present. You might try looking at the perfect place. A place with gifts that light up a face as well as a room. Where it's easy to find the brands they'll love and the advice you trust. That place is your local Ace. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their gifts.
Owners George and Jim Bob Browning invite you to visit the locally owned Ace Home Centers nearest you or shop online at elksupply.com. Ace, the helpful place.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back to school. Now your worries about the kids going over on their data plans are back. Mom and Dad, this is for you. Right now, make the switch to Pioneer's unlimited data plans. Don't let data overages and high cell phone bills be something you stress about this school year. We have a plan for everyone. Let Pioneer handle your worries by stopping at a local office today to learn how you can save. Visit gopioneer.com for details. Some restrictions may apply.
You've heard us talk about the Bank of Western Oklahoma. Now let's hear from one of their actual customers, BG Bisco.
With Bank of Western Oklahoma, it's more of a personal relationship. It's not a corporate bank. It's just how they've treated me. So God's always been in my life. So he's completely guided our way along with the bank. You know, if I didn't have my financial partners with David and the bank, you know, I don't know where I would be, but also if I didn't have God, where would I be?
The Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people really do come first. Member FDIC.
A home really is their safe place. We love working with our clients and finding them that security space. And that's what's so fulfilling. When I see birthday parties at a house that we had shot for with this client, and we're watching all of these memories kind of unfold and build in these homes, that's what's so rewarding.
Moxie Realty and Auction Company. MoxieRealty.com.
Welcome back. Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football. The Elk City Elks victorious in the quarterfinals tonight, 24-20 over the Hilldale Hornets. A heck of a battle by both sides. And as we, you'll notice as we announce the McDonald's player of the game, hard fought in the trenches. Coach Maynard even alluded to it, as good a defensive and offensive lines as the Elks have seen since Carl Albert.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It was a battle. But when the Elk City Elks had to have it, 16-14 with 8 minutes left?
Yeah.
They marched it 13 plays, 51 yards, all on the ground to score what turns out to be the difference-making touchdown on an Austin Jones 1-yard quarterback plunge. Picked up the 2-point conversion, which ends up being the difference almost. Yeah. And that is why your McDonald's player of the game tonight is those big dudes up front. The offensive line, left tackle Carson Price, left guard Riley Boyd, center Holden Dixon, right guard Aiden Long, which, by the way, happy birthday, Aiden Long. Hey. 18 years old. I forgot that during the broadcast, but we got it squeezed in there in the end. So happy birthday to Aiden, and also Logan Trevino. You also saw Hopper come in there as a tight end. You saw Gage Eastman a couple of times come in there as a tight end. But those guys up front were just awesome. When they had to be awesome, they were. And they went at 51 yards on 13 plays for what turns out to be the game-winning score. So the offensive line, 242 yards rushing for the Elks tonight. The offensive line is the McDonald's player of the game. In that game-winning drive, the Culver electrifying plays. I'm going to call it plays. Because on 4th and 4, the Elks ran the trap play with Cooper Garbarino, got 7. And then on 3rd and 6, they ran the same play back to the boundary in the short side of the field. Cooper Garbarino got 16. So Cooper Garbarino makes the Culver electrifying plays of the game. And then the biggest hit of the night, the Barbadison Ford tough hit of the night, came from Mr. Tim Ott and Cooper Patton. As Cooper plowed into the back judge. That was the hit of the night. We were afraid it might have concussed poor Tim Ott back there when he hit his head on the turf.
He laid there.
He laid there for
I
just a second.
think he was just embarrassed.
Maybe so. But Cooper Patton hitting the ref was the
you went there. I wasn't
Barbara Dyson Ford tough hit of the game. Here's the deal. It was one of those games you didn't see a whole bunch of big collisions on the outside,
right?
Because it was such a rock fight on the inside.
It was.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just the hits and that was happening.
It was a grinder,
a yard from each other.
Right. And it was because of that offensive line versus the defensive, that line play.
Yes.
In the trenches, it was bang, bang, bang every single play. You didn't see those hard hitting in space hits tonight.
No,
you didn't see it.
It was a heck of a battle. Kudos and a hat tip to Coach David Blevins and his Hilldale Hornets making the long trip from just outside Muskogee and giving the Elks absolutely everything they could handle.
And we expected it.
No doubt.
Right.
And so, but hat tip to the Big Elks for having enough. First time in 25 years, back-to-back seasons in the 4A semifinals. The challenge will be immense next week whenever that game is played, wherever it's played.
Well, we know half of that.
It'll be number 1 and number 2. The Elk City Elks and the Cushing Tigers. We know that game's going to be Friday at 7?
I was told by Coach Hunt.
Okay.
It is definitely happening on Friday, 7 p.m. We don't know where. We'll probably know that Monday. He's set to have a Zoom meeting with Mr. Whaley at the OSSA to confirm a location. I'm sure it's a Zoom meeting that involves the Cushing administration. And I got a good sense of where it's going to be. I think we all do.
It'll be centrally located.
It will be centrally located. We know where that's at in this state.
Which means somewhere in the Oklahoma City area.
Correct.
If I were a betting man, I would bet west side of Oklahoma City.
Yep.
Somewhere around the Putnam City area would be what I would guess. But we don't know that for sure.
Well, we can't confirm that, but we can.
7 o'clock Friday night. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
Elk City and Cushing, a rematch of last year's classic first-round game that the Elks were able, on a Mason Price interception with a minute left, to turn away Cushing and win that game 21-14. The Tigers scored 597 points in the regular season in 10 games. If you can't do the math as fast as I've been able to do it in the past couple of weeks, that's 59.7 a game. And all they put up here in the playoffs has been 48 and 42, so another 90. So it's going to be by far the biggest challenge the Elk City defense has seen since Carl Albert, if not even more of a challenge, with Blaze Berlowitz, Camden Crooks, and that offense of the Cushing Tigers. But you know what? That's a week away. Enjoy this one, Big Elk fans. Good crowd.
Oh, yes. Kudos to the crowd. We were a little worried there at first, but I think what happened was they waited till 6:59, and then
absolutely,
then they rushed in and they were loud.
All right, you know who's probably ready for us to wrap this post game up?
Probably Casey.
I'm going to say Drew.
Oh my goodness, Drew! What a stud tonight.
No doubt, Drew Cobb. Thanks to Drew Cobb. All the great pictures that you see on BigElkTV.com come from his eye and his ability to do that, unparalleled in Oklahoma high school from that camera. There's no doubt about that. Just go watch somebody else, and then you'll be longing for the days of Drew. So great job to Drew Cobb. Casey Meza back at the station, keeping us on the air on Cool 94. Daniel Garbarino, 2 weeks in a row, braving the cold elements out there on your Pioneer Cellular sideline. Cade Sanford doing a heck of a job with the stats that we're able to be able to put up at halftime and post-game with those gas stats. Jared Atha does so many things during this broadcast besides just mention what happens on a play. You guys have no idea how busy he is up here in this booth.
A little smoother tonight.
And by the way, thank you to Coach Maynard and the team. The birthday wish that I wanted was a win by the Brown and White, and by golly, we got it. 24-20, the Elk City Elks, one final time here from Big Elk Stadium, defeat the Hilldale Hornets. Move on to the Class 4A semifinals next Friday night at 7 against Cushing. We'll let you know where that will be when we know where that will be, as the Clinton Red Tornadoes pushing toward what could be a tying touchdown in overtime. I don't know if they got in there. Either way, 24-20, the Elks win over Hilldale. This has been the Bank of Western Oklahoma's presentation of Big Elk football.
Thank you for tuning in to this presentation of Elk City Athletics, presented by the Bank of Western Oklahoma, where people come first. Big Elk TV and Cool 94 are a part of the Paragon Communications Network, and any distribution or rebroadcast without permission is strictly prohibited. Paragon Communications is owned and operated by Blake Brewer. General Manager is Gabe Edney. Sports Director, Sean Wilson. Once again, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, go Big Elks.